Don't get in front of the train, baby.
We should do a poll. What's more important, beer or being dry?
Don't kiss him in the middle of the video. Is that what you're saying? Like they can see me?
I don't want to tell you what to do.
So Dave comes down, we take the picture, and he says, man, I thought we were going to do the photo booth. Your photo booth nearly killed me. And I said, well, Dave, that was the decoy photo booth. If you survive that one, then you get to see the real one, which is a workbench.
I would pay money to have that timer work the first time. I know that much.
It's a duel without shooting at each other.
Do you feel like you're beating the other two guys in the limited division? This thing?
One game at a time, man.
Keep shooting. This is great content.
It's called a tease. Rick, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How's it going, Mr. Hartman?
It's going pretty well. What's new with you?
Nothing, We're at a 3-gun nation match, so as per usual, it needs to be wet.
So my socks are wet, is what that means?
Yeah, my entire body is wet because it's a match involving Charles Soule. Don't believe what people tell you, Dave. It's not your fault.
It's not my fault, man.
This has been going on since like 2012.
Here's what it is, Rick. It's perception is reality, right? So we need to set the record straight because Charles is like, oh my goodness, I got another scapegoat here.
Well, he's got quite a smear campaign going.
He does.
That's what it is.
And it's working.
It is.
Because because
he has great reach.
There's a lot of new people in the sport.
Yep.
They don't know what happened. So let's set the stage here. But before we do, let's take a little sip of Grimm Brothers Brew House beer they provided to us so nicely for us for the shoot off here. There's an entire cooler. The cooler actually is Vortex Optics cooler.
Yeti, baby.
Vortex Yeti, full of ice
it's like
and beer.
It's like the two best things you can have, right?
Exactly.
Vortex and Yeti.
And beer.
And beer.
And we're having a nice beer, and we're going to have a chat about the shoot off here.
We got quite the view, too.
We do have quite the view.
Yeah.
So
feels like a VIP.
It's
pretty excellent.
We're actually under cover here, which is great. Cover provided by Hayes Custom Guns.
I only agreed to do this because I would be dry underneath the cover.
Keith flashing his lights. Thanks, Keith. A couple years ago, you and I did a podcast with Keith and Corinne Mosier.
Yeah, back what was it, like Nationals in
2015 Nationals,
yeah.
Right? And
with the elk.
That one, yeah, with the elk. That one was dry. But if you remember, Keith said it takes a village to get Kalani to shoot. Do you remember that?
It does.
So it actually turns out takes a village to get the 3-gun show going. Thank you, sir. As Ruben's just handing me my phone that I dropped here. But so we've got a cooler provided by Yeti, beer provided by Grimm Brothers Brew House. We have power provided by Nick Miller, which
is he on a treadmill
Adam,
or a
did
bike?
You remember to turn that generator on? I forgot to ask you. I'm sorry, man.
We're going to be good for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing.
So we have power provided by Nick Miller. We've got, God, who else do I need? The awning, Hayes Custom Guns. Really, just so many great people contributed to this. So thank you, everybody, for helping out and for providing entertainment for the audience here.
I feel like the only thing you're missing is a electric heater sponsor.
Oh, man. It would be
then
nice,
you'd be
wouldn't
set.
it?
I mean, then that would be all your bases would be covered.
I'm going to go with a completely encapsulated booth.
Well, we could just steal the Timney trailer.
We should. In fact, we could.
He's not using it right now.
We could have just had my trailer out here because I've got a picture window in the back. We'd have the
That'd
the
be
dog.
pretty romantic.
It would. Would.
I'm not complaining.
Snacks. I have snacks, beer, a refrigerator.
Yeah.
It's delightful.
That'd be pretty excellent.
Yeah. So Rick, before I cut you off, you were helping me get rid of this perception that I am the cause of the rain.
Well, sorry about that. Somebody was yelling at us. Yeah. So Dave, when did you start shooting 3-guns nationally?
Oh, nationally? That would be the 2016 season.
Okay, so that's perfect because this has been going on long before then. So in order for the assertions to be correct, it wouldn't have been going on prior.
Right.
But we've been wet for a very long time at 3-gun matches.
And 3-gun nation matches.
Especially 3-gun nation matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? No, it's not.
One of the first ever 3-gun nation Pro Series matches down in Florida had a near tornado
Oh, really?
in 2011, 2012. So this has been going on for a while. Yeah.
And, oh, wow. Shooting's going
Wow,
here.
I didn't see a shooter's meter or anything.
I didn't either. We got Bob Nash going up here, though. And
Good measured cadence on the pistol.
Rick, you hold that thought, big fella. I'm going to go grab my eyes.
You got another pair clear?
And we're back.
Oh, hey, we got
Bob Nash,
we got Eckhart here.
24-49.
We got Eric Eckhart here. I didn't know that he was in town for this.
Yeah,
That's excellent.
yeah.
It's always good to see the Adams team out here.
I'm pretty excited for Eric to shoot here. Really good shooter.
He's an excellent dude. I really
But-
like Eric.
Is this his first Pro Series, or
Well, he
shot the old Pro Series, right?
No, he actually qualified for it, but then it changed.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So he was in that class with Coop and Molina. That they were the last ones to qualify in the old format,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't get a chance to shoot
Right.
the old format other than the qual match.
It's kind of a bummer though when you do the qualifying match in
Yeah.
one format and then
At least
it
they got
switches
to
up.
have fun once.
Yeah, that's true.
It's better than not.
Switches up on you. It's a little shame.
So yeah, Eric, he's been busy with work.
Yep.
He's been deployed quite a few times, so that obviously cuts into your range time.
Yeah. And I believe he's either retired or taking a step back at this time. So now he's
on. Yeah, he's either out or he's right at the edge of
Yeah.
being out. So
and we got to get Eric to come over here and talk to us too when he's done shooting
For
because
sure.
he shot the Gas Gun National opener.
oh yeah,
and
the PRS
actually
match.
did like super well because that is like right up his alley in shooting. So
Yeah, he's an excellent shooter when it comes to the long range rifle.
Yeah.
He's a sniper and a sniper instructor, so he has quite a bit of experience in that world.
I'm told he moves like a gazelle too, but I've actually never been able to shoot on a squad with him.
I'd compare it more to a linebacker because I'm pretty sure that's what he was.
Oh, is that right?
Oh yeah,
He's kind of
he's
a
a
small
Nebraska
linebacker,
boy.
isn't he?
He's a Nebraska boy, so he's corn fed.
Right.
Yeah.
You gonna join us here, Heather?
I'm gonna get pictures of a man.
Okay.
Root for 'em.
We're yelling from here.
Way too good.
I do like that.
About Casco.
Uh-huh.
That's good marketing.
I got a tattoo that says the same thing.
All right then. So Rick, you've shot this a lot. This shoot off type of shooting gallery type of thing. What's going through your head when you're making ready here? Do you notice the cameras? Do you notice the people standing over your shoulders? Are you aware that your competitors are watching you?
I mean, that aspect of it is really no different than any other match.
What's up, buddy?
Mr. Batsworth,
You're in the spot I wish I was in.
under the canopy.
Drinking a beer.
Oh. But yeah, you don't really notice it after a while. You shoot enough of the pro matches, and
Is that
you
generator
get
going?
used to
Is that generator
we having
going?
problems.
Yeah, the camera's not charging.
Oh no.
Camera's not charging. It's got the cord in it and everything.
Is
Sorry,
that
Rick.
power switch flicked on?
Oh, that would probably do it, wouldn't it? Oh, that killed it.
Wait, now they're back. Are they charging?
Yeah, now it is.
Perfect.
That's what it was. Damn, Rick.
Gotta have an engineer, man. Step one, when
And
you deal
we're
with
back.
electronics and or anything that you're gonna have to plug in or
Grab an engineer.
make sure it's plugged in.
And we're back. 3-Gun Show at 3-Gun Nation Nationals. That was a bad break. Hopefully we can figure that part out. Camera's moving too. God, this is a clusterfuck.
Come on,
And
Dave,
we're
the
live.
camera's rolling.
I tell you what, Rick, I tried to shoot a match today. The match didn't go so hot, I'll be honest, man. I'm
I
shooting
feel ya.
PCC.
Yeah, why are you shooting PCC?
I'm shooting.
Oh, we got a buzzer test. That means
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Eckhart is about to go.
Mr. Eckhart is about to go here, so we'll come
Let's
back
see
to
the
that
gazelle.
one.
He moves.
Yeah, he moves pretty good. He's got his football cleats on too. Man, 1 for 1 on that
Excellent
pistol
cadence
steal.
with the
Yeah,
pistol.
good.
Yeah.
Picking up the rifle here. Now he's shooting a lot of low shots.
Most guys, when you miss on the plate rack, you end up missing low.
Right. Nice cadence on the shotgun too. 23.62, so beats out Bob.
Yeah, a little bit of time there on the plate rack, but
Yeah.
that's to be expected, especially when you're in these kind of elements.
Yeah, and he's actually shooting a Adams Arms piston gun as well, so a little bit more recoil. Now,
No, you don't really perceive it.
No?
No, because I
Okay.
actually was fortunate enough to be on his team a few years back, and I was running that gun as well. And it's not it's not anything that you would classify as disruptive.
Good to know.
It feels a little different, but not.
Right.
Once you shoot it a few times, it's not as bad as people would think.
So solid run for the evening.
Yeah, I
Only
mean,
been-
considering the elements.
Considering the elements, I've been wondering if the wetness is going to play a factor into this. If we're going to see some dudes slipping and sliding all over the place. Our buddy Jacob Betzworth over here, he's got his speed cross on, and man, that guy loves to just put all his weight behind his movement and everything. So
Well,
it'll
I mean,
be
yeah,
interesting
I got
to see.
pretty terrified at Nationals last year. I felt like he was going to go over one of the tables. I wasn't
Take a
sure.
digger.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have photos of that somewhere of
Yeah.
him doing a modified cartwheel
Yeah, pretty much.
over a stop button.
Yeah.
So
He doesn't have his trash bag on tonight. His signature.
he's not looking
Trash
as
bag.
classy as
Yeah.
usual.
So Rick, yes, I am shooting PCC. I'm shooting PCC Unlimited.
Tell me more.
I am. I'm on my second gun now.
Already.
Already, yeah. So the first one. Yeah. So the first one I borrowed a PCC from a guy, and it was a home build, and I tested it for like a whole day, and did a bunch of different training, transitions, stuff like
That's
that.
pretty solid due diligence.
Yeah,
I mean, that's-
well, it was my
What more
first
can you do?
my first time ever shooting a PCC. I wanted to make sure it played with all the ammo that I have, because I have various forms of ammo from all over the place, and it worked, right? So we're like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah.
Shooting out to 100 yards, no big deal. And
That's a big feat for that kind of gun.
yeah, for a 9mm.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we did just fine on that, and then ended up with bringing it to the match, getting ready to shoot the match, no problem. And very first stage, just mouth after mouth. Saw a triple feed.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a new one.
yeah. I didn't know that was possible, and so tried that on the second stage. Still had a big problem with it, and got a second gun. Worked fine for. Thank you, sir. Worked fine for one stage. Went down on the second stage, but at that time it had started raining again, had started raining, and I think a problem was like maybe lack of lubrication, because we did a test after the stages, lubed it up, tested,
Is it back to normal?
back to normal again and again and again. So I'm
So you think you got it fixed, or?
I don't
it's
know,
hard to
man. It's
tell.
hard to tell. I don't know. We'll see tomorrow. I'm not real sold on PCC yet. It's fun, but shooting 22s out of a rifle is fun too.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it as a change of pace for a lot of guys.
Mhm.
It's not necessarily the change of pace I would make.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you what's been interesting though is the stage planning.
oh yeah, I mean it opens a lot of doors.
Well, now my personal goal is to try not to use my pistol. Can I do this without using my pistol?
Yeah.
And most of the time you can do it without using your shotgun. Like, oh, they put 4 clays here, so I have 4 shotgun
Yeah.
targets.
Yeah.
Kind of silly.
They want you to get at least 2 guns out of the match.
Yeah, out of a 3-gun match.
You know,
Yeah, and I guess
unless you can get your gun to start, shooting rat shot.
Right.
Throw that at
Oh,
some of
yeah.
the clays.
Yeah, we were talking about
Go single
going
action
down to
on
the
it.
Walmart on
Yeah.
that. So the second part of that is now I'm not going to be able to shoot any of the long-range targets. And I was looking at the long-range stages during walkthrough, and it looks like
They look pretty decent.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, some actual distance. Unlike, and there's multiple stages. I think there's 2 stages at least that have
Yep.
250 plus.
Mhm.
So yeah, that should be
And
fun.
out to like 400 or something like that.
Yeah,
I
think they
didn't
got a
bother.
bonus at 420.
Is that
425.
right?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's an 8-inch circle at 425 or 420.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, we got Garrison England coming up on the stage here. He's going to be doing his little run.
Oh, I didn't realize he was videoing.
And Garrison's off to the pistol here.
A couple misses on the pistol, left the door open a little bit, but not
Oh,
terrible.
looks like he left did he leave a rag on his scope?
Yeah, he left
Interesting.
a rag on his optic so it wouldn't get wet.
And so we ripped that off, but I think that actually cost him a little bit of time in that transition. Another decent shotgun run, and 25-29
Oh,
for
he took the
Garrison.
button with him.
And took the button with him. Yeah, knocked the button off the table tonight.
So the big thing about a stage like this is that, in my opinion, you're going to see guys slowing down in two different spots. The footwork the footwork to start to stop, and then the actual gun transitions. The shooting isn't necessarily much different.
Right.
You don't really notice the rain when it's. I mean, obviously, if it's coming at your face, you're
Right.
going to notice it. But for the most part, like with your handgun and with your shotgun, the rain is just there, and you're just dealing with it. But the footwork and the gun manipulations is really what makes it more difficult.
Yeah. So what is I was about to ask, like, what is more important, but, I mean, if you just fall, like, right when you're coming into
Well,
a
that's the
box,
thing.
it
There's
doesn't even
neither
matter.
of them are more important, right?
Yeah.
If you fall when you come in, you're done. If you drop it when you come in, you're done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's to the point where you have to know how far you can push on that dial.
Right.
Do I need to go 95? Do I need to go 85? I mean,
So I think last night we saw, like, a 20:49 or 21:49, something like that. And we're a good, like, 3 to 4 seconds off that pace
yeah, and I
already.
would have expected it to be somewhere in the 3 to 5 second range
Yeah.
slower. Just from the wetness on the ground.
Right.
You
And
know,
no, I got
nobody's going to be going 100% with their feet because
Yeah.
if you lose it, you're done.
Right. And I got to say, like, that's just for comparison's sake because they're not actually being scored or competing against the guys that shot last night. It's all in this match. So
Right.
the conditions for all 6 dudes that are shooting tonight are all the same.
Exactly. And that's why they're able to do a plate rack this time instead of last month they did a set of poppers.
Right.
Because
right.
we're not comparing match to match. We're only
Right.
comparing at the match.
Right. Which is interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a function of how much space they have at each facility.
Yeah, I would imagine like space. There's probably resources with targetry available.
Well, yeah,
and
how
stuff
many
like
plate
that.
racks
Yeah.
do they own and things
Mhm.
like that.
Because it's easy to bring these.
Yeah, poppers and stands are easy, but
yeah,
you start
the
lugging around
the 10x10s. Yeah,
$400 or 400-pound plate racks, and
that kills the fuel economy a little bit.
yeah.
I can't even see who's setting up here.
I mean,
Is
it's
this Lance?
just like nationals. It may be. He's got 5'11" on his
Yeah.
pants,
It's the only thing I can figure.
and we should be going in reverse order. So this should
Right.
be the third from the top.
Third from the top.
So
Okay.
Jacob would have been close to the top, and then someone else as well.
Yeah. Now, if it was Jacob, it would be easy because he's a mountain of a man.
And he'd be wearing a garbage bag.
With
the hefty man.
with the sleeves cut off.
Yeah. So classy. Felt like I was back in Detroit when I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Detroit.
Yeah. It's a perfect way to put it.
And I think I told you about the first time I went to Detroit, right? When,
yeah, didn't you almost commit like an international crime into...
Yeah.
There's only one way into the tunnel.
I was not driving, and I was vehemently shouting to turn around.
Once you're in that tunnel, there's no turning around, baby.
Yeah, so I was actually I beg to differ because we did
In the tunnel.
in the tunnel. In a
Pretty
one-way.
sure that's illegal.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, it was. I mean, it's a highway, right? And
Yeah.
and we see a. Let's set the story for the.
Yeah, do our
for-
viewers know about this?
I don't know if. I was still working at the place at the time, so I didn't really want
It
to
was
talk
off
about
script.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was off
you
air.
You and I just talked
Yeah.
about that afterwards. So, it is Lance that's up right here, and so we can table that for a minute. And
Yeah.
then I'll finish
Let's
the story.
focus
but
on Lance here.
Lance is up.
The first member of Team Benelli.
Heck yeah. And Lance is an athletic dude, so this will be interesting to see
Looks
how
like he's got the
he
spike
rolls.
crosses on.
Yep. pretty good pickup on that pistol. Little time setting up. Couple extra
About
makeup
4,
shots here.
5, 6. That's going to hurt.
Yeah.
So he's already at halfway on the time.
But Lance is a rifleman here, so we'll see if he can make it up.
Well, Lance is a hunter and
Yeah.
an excellent precision rifle shooter, but it's
Yeah.
a little different when it starts running offhand.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and he missed the timer. Holy shit, that cost him like 3.5 seconds.
It doesn't matter.
No?
Why would it matter? He's already in the bottom.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
All it would impact is the order.
Yeah, and then if the people behind him mess up, but I guess not. So, wow,
But he's already guaranteed to be in the eliminator,
oh,
regardless.
okay,
Because the top, he's not second.
So what is it, the bottom
4?
Bottom 4. Oh,
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, so he's guaranteed. to
So
be
whether he
eliminated.
was 29 or 26
I got
or
you.
31, it really didn't matter, other than order.
All right, so my knock it off. Keith Garcia is behind us in his Jeep Grand Cherokee and flashing the lights at the camera. And so I gave him a single finger wave,
That's what I saw.
keeping up foreign relations.
Yeah. Were you inverted?
So to tell the story, so I worked for a large defense contractor, and we were in Detroit to meet with a bunch of contractors that were going to build this thing for us. A
Yeah,
thing
because Detroit is a large hub for people who don't know for
Very
the
big.
defense industry as
Yes.
well as the auto industry because
Yes.
there's a lot of manufacturing locally.
tons of manufacturing, machining. They do a ton of great work with welded steel structures and stuff like that. And we needed a large thing to hold another large important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went to a bunch of different places and shopped it around. But the first day we got there, we're not visiting these companies until the next day. So wanted to kind of look around. So we go to
see the sights of Detroit.
see
baby,
the sights. Go downtown Detroit. Downtown Detroit.
without your wallet.
Old Tiger Stadium. No, we're idiots, man. We're like walking around in golf shirts and khakis, like, and I worked with a bunch of engineers, so like they were like rob me engineers. Yeah. So, we're sitting there and we're doing our thing. We had found like this great barbecue joint that it was really cool.
Slows.
Yeah, it was Slows.
Legendary.
Is that the only barbecue joint?
It's legendary.
Dude.
They've got like 90 sauces you can
Yeah,
put on your
I tried
pulled pork.
38 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, it was ridiculous. And that place was ridiculous barbecue. I was super surprised for Detroit. And thank you for saying the name because I forgot it.
It's right
And
next to the old train station.
It is.
The one that they actually filmed a lot of the Transformer movies in.
It looks like hell there.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it actually is. But then you walk into Slows and it's like this nice joint that is nice and trendy and everything. It's a pretty cool place. So then we go walk down to the waterfront and look at Windsor, and that's when I realized, like, wow, look at Windsor. There's all those cars and like traffic lights and people, and I can see people, and I'm like looking across this body of water and seeing Canada.
Because it's only like 300 yards.
Yeah, and from a guy from a landlocked state, that's kind of significant,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
So I was looking at that, and I'm like, holy crap, I can see Canada from here. And then I stopped and I turned around, and I looked around. And I was like, wow, there is nothing going on here. And then I just kind of got this little chill. There's nothing going on in Detroit. There was no people. There was no cars. And then I realized all these buildings are abandoned. And they're like skyscrapers.
Yep.
And it was like 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
There was nothing going on in Detroit.
A lot of the people in Detroit are just working in Detroit.
Yeah, well, and
There's
and
not a whole lot of people living in Detroit.
And the particular area that we were in, like even the skyscrapers that like used to house like a bank or something like that,
Yep.
soap over the windows.
Yeah.
Soap over the windows in a skyscraper. So weird. But so anyhow, to go back to what we were talking about earlier, once we were, done sightseeing and everything, we're in the car. I'm in the back. This dork is driving.
The engineer.
And we've got all these prints in the car, right? We've
Classified, I'm sure, to some extent.
ITAR.
Oh, exactly.
So it's sensitive, it's proprietary,
Yeah.
and international trafficking arms regulations.
I believe that's what
Yeah,
it is.
I believe that's what ITAR stands for. So we've got all that.
Yeah.
And so then he's like, oh, I wonder where this goes. And I'm like, dude, that goes to Canada. The sign clearly says it goes to Canada.
Tunnel to Canada.
There's a tunnel that goes under the water to Canada. And he's like, oh, we go here. And like everyone just starts yelling at him, turn around. We're not going to Canada.
And for those who have not been on this road in this tunnel, it is one way.
It absolutely is, and it's like 3 lanes one way.
Yeah.
And so he literally just stops in the middle of the road in front of the TSA, and then he flips a U-turn. And then eventually,
Like a boss.
on the wrong way, and eventually at some point we got over to the other side. And I was livid at that guy.
Yeah.
I was so upset because I don't have a passport. None of us had even the guys that did have a passport didn't
weren't
have them
with
at the
you.
time.
Yeah.
We have like all this stuff that we're not supposed.
You can't talk your way out of an ITAR problem.
Yeah. Well, and everyone's gonna get fired, right? And at that time it mattered. So
Yeah.
all
Here's
right,
Big Diesel.
Big Diesel. Jacob Betzworth is up here. He's smiling like usual. He's all excited. He's giving Rob a heck of a time.
Now I'm a little worried because Lance just about tore that buzzer off, so Jacob could do some serious damage.
Yeah. Jacob could
This night
very
could
seriously
end
take
for all
out
of us
the
if
timer.
the equipment goes down.
Yep. There he goes.
So watching his feet, that's going to be the most important thing.
Yep. Gingerly into the shooting position. Had it like a jam or
Looked
something?
like he
there?
had a malfunction on the
Yep.
handgun.
Picking up the rifle.
Making up time.
2 extra
Not
shots.
enough,
Not too bad. Smoking it on the shotgun.
Very deliberate on the
Yeah.
shotgun.
Oh, over in 27-47. Yeah, that was deliberate on the
Yeah.
shotgun.
Which is odd in a format like this, especially with Clay's.
Well, he had 1 makeup shot, so I think he ended up slowing down on that just to try to keep his cadence or his hits there. Well, they laid a little practical, so you've got 9 in the gun, right?
Yeah.
And then
I think that's an 8-shot array.
8 shot array. Yep.
I know with the shoot-off it was 7, but I think this one they got
Yeah.
8. They do it a little different each time.
I really like the one in 2015 where they had like the 12 shot array.
Yeah, the mandatory load.
Mandatory
when
quad load.
When you got to the table or partially through the array, which was the wrong choice.
Unless you're shooting a Browning, right? And then does that become the
Yes.
right choice?
Well, in my opinion, no. Because you still have to dismount one
Right.
extra time.
Mm-hmm.
If you do it at the beginning, you haven't even mounted yet. So
Right, and then you're just plussing
mean-
up, and people say you're fighting the spring, but
yeah, but if you got to fight the spring that hard, then you haven't practiced very much. Because you got to do that when you loaded a full in a match. It's no different.
all right. So your teammate at the time, Greg Jordan, was doing that, and so that's the wrong move.
Yeah, if it was me, I would have run it with the plussing up at the start.
Right.
I mean, I know they were utilizing the benefit of the A5, but again, I want to mount and dismount as few times as possible.
Right.
It's a lot like
It's wasted movement.
it's a lot like target transitions and when you choose where and when to post up.
Right.
Usually you don't want to, but when you have to, you want to limit the number of times as low as possible.
And try to shoot everything on the move.
Yeah, especially these type of stages. But yeah, I feel like it's better to do it at the start.
Right. That makes sense. I thought the same thing too, but the prevailing wisdom at the time was the A5 is going to load better.
Well, what did Dan do?
That's true. Well, Dan wasn't shooting an A5.
No,
So
but,
first off,
but it doesn't matter which gun you're shooting.
Right.
You load at the start regardless.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
Oh, dang it. Always fall for that.
you won't. And the next time they do it, you stab them.
Throw a beer can at him.
Yeah. Street justice.
So who do we have shooting now?
I don't know.
Can't
Big-
hardly
Big
tell, but-
Diesel. Who else would have
Is it
been in
Hunter
this
Sykes?
match? It is. It's Hunter. It is Hunter Sykes.
Tell by his shoes. I remember from Nationals.
No, I talked to him earlier. I just forgot he was in this one. Yeah, because he was in the final 8
Yep.
because it's reverse order. So we got to pick our own match. I don't know if you knew that
okay.
or not.
So I think we discussed that a little bit last night, and then it sounds like the Northern guys picked the Northern match, and
Yeah, I just picked something a little later in the year, and it happened
Okay.
to be that one.
why did you do that?
Because with being up in Michigan, you never know when the snow's going to not be around anymore.
Right.
So, that's something I'm fighting with this match is I really don't have as much practice time in as I really would want.
Mm-hmm.
The temperature and everything up there kind of puts a damper on things. You try to power through it. You can usually deal with it when it's 20 or 30, but when it's 5 and 10 degrees out, it gets to be kind of a pain. So.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm not really a big fan of inclement weather.
Oh, we got a steel down.
Yeah, pistol steel. I have in the past done like some practice sessions in the wintertime, and it's been great. But there is a point where it's diminishing return. Like
it
we're
depends
just
on what
out
you're
here
doing
shaking.
too, right? I mean, if you're out there in the cold, anything below like 30, you really don't add any value by doing any quad loading,
right?
Because you can't really feel your hands.
Yeah,
and when you do, you got to put gloves back on, and then you got to wait for them to warm up, and then it's just it makes everything a little bit tougher. The other thing is footwork. You can't do a lot of footwork drills if there's snow and ice.
Yep,
you don't want to roll an ankle, break a leg, getting ready for the season. So it's a fine line.
When you go to the when you go to the range and you're working on something for an upcoming match, how do you decide what you work on first, and then where do you prioritize your efforts?
So back in the old school days with like the more outlaw style match, it would be whatever the flavor of that match was. So each match had a different flavor with different obstacles, and I would try to focus on those because I knew I'd been to that match and they're always going to have it. CMMG, the Midwest 3-gun match out in Missouri, for instance, they always had a spinner with a shotgun. And at the time, they weren't very prevalent. So you always had to know. Now they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So you had to know, all right, I need the high brass stuff. I need the Prairie Storm, whatever. But they also liked doing distance, like mid-distance, like 200, like 150 to 250 with canted rifles. That was a big thing for them.
Oh, yeah.
So I would always try to spend time on like a VTAC wall in some of the angled ports, so I could work on the canted, the height over bore and the offsets and all that. So
seems like we've largely moved away from that.
yeah, and it was so big, it was huge.
Yeah.
For about 2 or 3 years. I mean,
Yeah,
it was at every match you'd have to know how to shoot with your rifle at 45 degrees.
Yep. I remember back in I think it was like 2012. I would shoot a Colorado multi-gun, and it's just a local match, 4 stages on a Saturday. But they would always do offset stuff, and sometimes they would make you shoot in like a what the heck's it called, cinder block.
Okay.
Other times you'd have to shoot under like a 2x4 and
Yep.
things like that, canted rifle. Then this season actually got to shoot Blue Ridge, and there was a stage where you were shooting under a car. So
Yep.
that training finally came in handy.
Yeah, and like, for example, Pro-Am. Oh, here goes Hunter.
Hunter's up. You're going to have to call this one. I got a giant Rob Tate in front of me.
Couple mics on the handgun.
Yeah, look like 3 or 4 extra shots there.
He's got better foot speed, though. That's something
Yeah.
that may play a factor. If he can get this plate rack, nope, it's not going to be good enough.
What did he end up with?
25.06.
25.06?
Yeah.
That's
So
still
he
pretty
made up a lot of
decent
time on the
compared to
shotgun.
yeah.
He got into the shotgun around 22.
Yeah.
So he made up time on his shotgun. I don't remember what the breakdown was, but he's right there on the edge.
Yeah. I think, oh, man.
Oh, we're losing connection?
Yeah, drawing too much juice.
Thank you, sir.
That's all right.
So, yeah, I try to practice. I mean, now it's a little bit more difficult because 3-Gun Nation, it's more universal. There's not as many specific things. Like the Pro-Am used to have vehicles a lot. So you'd be in a vehicle.
Yeah.
In closed, tight quarters.
Uh-huh.
So that was something you'd
Like
want to
practice
try to
getting
do.
in and out of your vehicle with
just pointing a gun out of it, on the range. Shotgun tubes, that was always a tough thing.
right.
Especially when you're running like a 12 or 10 round tube and you're trying to go out a window.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, with 3-Gun Nation, it's more about practicing shooting on the move for me because that's going to translate to all of the matches. Most of the old outlaw stuff, you didn't do as much of the shooting on the move as you do now. I remember when I used to start gaming stages for that, it was find your spots.
Yeah.
That was, when we were shooting back in 2011, 2012, it was the fewest number of spots and the best spots.
Mm-hmm.
And you just posted up and you shot what you could see.
So when did it become like you never stopping then?
The Pro Series. When
Really?
the Pro Series was in its heyday, you started to see a shift in the way matches were designed. And you went from a lot of small pistol plates at distances from, 20 to 30 yards.
Yeah, I remember that.
To closer in stuff, but areas where you could move while you were doing it.
Right.
So that
Can
was,
you point to like one person or one stage designer that brought that sort of mix into it?
I know personally from my own experience, when I was doing our stage design, I tried to pull from national level events. So naturally, when the Three Gun Nation Pro Series really started doing a lot of this footwork and movement stuff, I integrated that into my matches. And I think it was kind of a trickle-down effect from a grassroots standpoint, that everybody started to see that it was so much faster paced and there was more energy and it was a lot more difficult, and that's just what people started doing. But I want to say probably around 2012 or 13 is when you really saw matches shifting from a stand and deliver to more shooting on the move.
Yeah.
A little bit larger targets, a little bit closer, but no margin for error because you got to be moving.
And I feel like now we got Lance Dingler back up again, so
we've either selected our gun or this is a reshoot.
This is a
It's
reshoot.
a reshoot due to the button malfunction.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
That would be my guess, actually.
That's
so.
what I'm thinking too. And Ruben from Vortex Optics has joined us here. Oh, he tried to put his dismount his.
No, see, this is the elimination.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Why is
He
the
only
whole
shot
array
handgun.
up then?
Did they traditionally take them with
Maybe
the other
they
ones
just didn't
down?
want to go out
Yeah.
in the rain and
They
take
probably
them
didn't
down.
want to take them down. It's
Well,
raining, Dave. There are no rules.
I don't know what's happening.
Wait,
here.
what was it from Nationals? Weather rules?
Oh, that's
weather,
right.
Weather rules.
Weather rules. So we can
We
yell
can
at
do
you.
whatever we want.
We can yell at
It's
you. We
weather
can shout
rules.
at you. We can make you shoot when you're not ready to shoot. We'll
That
give
was
you the
an interesting cover-all.
We'll give you the
for-
stage brief
yeah.
before your whole squad's there. Before your time to get the stage brief is there. Yeah.
So Lance with the 1420. Yep. So that's going to be tough because he dismounted early. He had about 6 mics. I'd say the door's pretty wide open on that one.
And when you say dismounted early, if someone's not watching the video on this,
so he physically brought the gun down from his line of sight. He went to go dump the gun in the dump tube.
right.
So, I mean that kills you, especially in a speed array like this. I mean you're talking at least a second and a half, maybe more.
Right.
It's basically 3 misses.
Well, so we're of course we're doing a companion piece to the Three Gun Nation live stream. Unfortunately, because of the weather conditions, they have one camera doing the live stream now, so they're going to cut this together later. So this may not make any sense when you watch the video.
Most of the interviews
or
I'm in,
podcast.
Dave, don't. So that's par for the course.
So that's true. So
I'm glad you said that because I was.
Hey,
I was.
I'm very
right
self-aware. Very self-aware.
it's very true, Rick, and we need to get you back on the podcast just one-on-one sometime, and we can really dig into the topics because it's been 2 years since we.
Episode 7.
Yeah, crazy, huh?
I feel like an OG.
You are, man. I remember when you hit me up and you're like, Dave, can I be on the show? I'm like, I don't know who you are, dude. And
there. And then he slid under a wall.
Yeah, and then you're like, hey, you're the
everybody
dude that
knew
slides
who
under
he
walls.
you're the wall slider.
You're that guy.
was. And they don't even have to really meet you; they just see you, and they're like, "Well, that guy could slide under a wall."
Yeah, it's the height.
Yeah.
Were you, Ruben? Were you here last night for the?
Oh, here goes Big Diesel in the
Oh,
Eliminator. I think somebody's yelling stop. Oh,
Yeah, Jacob is a. What was
the
that?
buzzer never went.
Oh man.
Rob was yelling stop.
Oh,
so that was
that's
man.
for not.
bummer.
That was a smoking pistol round.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
he missed a single one.
Jacob is a pistol shooter, and he just did not.
That's called doing work.
Dang, timer did not go off. Man, that's a bummer.
So they must not have reset it
Weather rules.
Yeah.
from the last run. Weather
Weather
rules,
rules.
baby. Weather
Just
rules.
To kind of add on to that, I mean, the weather kind of does dictate really a lot of the match. I mean,
Yeah.
we showed up this morning, my squad. I was on squad 9. Was going to be with the AMU guys and Travis and Wyatt, and we ended up jumping on another squad and
Squad
we
2,
ended up
baby.
getting on
Oh, you were with Mr. Hartman all day.
Three
the
gun
super
show
squad, but none of the cameras knew it was the super squad, but it was.
Yeah. It's kind of unfortunate because they were trying to follow the AMU when we were the actual super squad.
Yeah, they missed
Not
out.
everybody knows.
Tell you
There's
what,
a lot
man.
more shooting on our squad. More shots fired.
Yeah, I mean, it's more to film.
A lot more
The
content.
marketing guys
I mean,
love it
gosh.
because they get so many more action shots.
Absolutely.
They can work for that perfect shot with the brass
Well,
coming out. you
Yeah,
know.
they could. With
They
me,
can set up their tripod. They can get ready to shoot.
with me on an offhand rifle, they've got 4 or 5 seconds for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, and with
Daniel,
me,
you've got one
Yeah.
one shot.
When you're out there with your PCC, they can basically set up shop,
dude,
Yep.
and get ready.
They'll be like, look, there's 3 rounds in the air coming out of that thing. And I'm like, it's just a triple feed.
Keep shooting. This is great content.
We'll be insta-famous.
Yeah, that's how it works, right?
But then then our squad ended up shooting the afternoon, and they had 1 or 2 stages where there was a kind of a light rain. But honestly, we had 2 stages of heavy rain this morning. They had a little bit of light rain this afternoon. But when we were watching over on stage 8. Man, I was like, I kind of wish we were shooting right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, oh, here goes Jacob.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
it was
the same
excellent for them this afternoon. Hammer down, baby.
Oh, man.
man,
He had
was
like 2 or 3 mics on
great
that one.
run. He's still going to be 3 seconds
Yep,
ahead.
11:01.
How does
Wow.
he move that fast?
Momentum.
He wants
Once
it.
you
He's,
get it
he's
moving,
about
you-
100 yards past the buzzer
Yeah,
now.
wants
getting
it.
it
Just kept
stopped
going.
is a whole nother problem.
He just leans forward a little bit.
Yeah. Don't get in front of the train, baby. Once that train's on that track, you ain't doing nothing
That's right.
about it.
That's
Super
right.
good guy though. He had him on the show last night. That was a lot of fun talking with Betts.
Yeah, Jacob's a great dude, man. And he's
His enthusiasm is infectious.
yeah.
He's always happy. He's just always having a good time.
Let me tell you what, man. So I spent some time in Omaha, mostly because my truck broke down, but also because
We'll say it's because you want to hang out with Jacob.
no. I went to Omaha because I wanted to hang out with.
Just couldn't leave.
Yeah, exactly. It was a mess. But anyway, so Jason Hintz and I go to the range and we're doing some pistol drills, and Jacob sees us and he comes up, because he knows Jason, he knows me. And he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And then the next 45 minutes, we got like a private lesson from
Oh,
Jacob.
very cool.
Yeah, and then finally I was like, "Well, what are you doing here?" He's like, "Oh, I'm practicing with Lance and Nate." He's like, "Oh, I should get up there." That's the kind of person that Jacob Betzworth is, and his generosity and his heart knows no bounds.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
Yeah, totally cool dude.
And he just has fun.
He
That's
does.
the thing. I mean,
He absolutely
it's like the
does.
garbage bag at Nationals. He's just having a good time.
Well, and
he doesn't care.
You watch him before his run, and he's like giving Rob a hard
Smiling,
time
laughing,
about his
joking
little
around.
his frog togs that he's
Yep.
wearing. Did I say Mark? Rob a hard time about his frog togs. Yeah, he's having a good time.
He was real fun to watch and shoot with on the old school Pro Series
Mm-hmm.
because he is such a great pistol shooter.
Yeah,
And see, that was what was cool about those kind of matches was you got to play to your strength.
right.
So along with these type of stages, you choose what you're comfortable with, and you got to lean on that more so than some of your other skills maybe. And watching him shoot some of the pistol arrays and deciding to run pistol when others weren't was always interesting
Yeah.
and impressive.
Well, it's correct me if I'm wrong, Rick, but it seems like guys that are using a lot of pistol skills are doing a lot better at matches.
Yep, I'll get back to that after Garrison runs right here. So here's
Yeah,
Garrison.
we got Garrison England up.
Last 2 plates got him.
Last 2 play. Yep, just
He's
like
going to be okay.
yeah. 1061.
1061.
Wow, good job, Garrison. Shooting his Hayes Custom Guns pistol, which of course provided the shelter for this podcast.
That may be the single most important thing, other than the beer,
right.
in this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a toss up right now. What's more important?
I
beer or
wouldn't even
dryness?
I wouldn't even want to try to justify one or the other. They're that close.
I like where your head's at.
It's a gray area.
It
for
really
sure.
is.
Yeah.
For sure.
Jeez.
Because unlike everyone else at this match, we are dry.
If you have an opinion on that, email me at dave@threegunshow.com.
We should do a poll, Dave.
We should do a poll. What's more important,
What's
beer
more important,
or being
beer
dry?
or being dry?
Because it's kind of chilly right now.
Well, it's very chilly.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a guy from Michigan.
So if you guys notice, I'm sitting a lot higher than Rick is on this video. And it's not mostly because Rick's short. I have
Partially.
I have a wool army blanket folded up and that I'm sitting on.
Just to keep your butt warm
Just
from
keep
the
my
chair?
butt warm.
Oh, my God.
Because last night, man.
Dave, I lost a little bit of respect. Not going to lie.
Last night when I was out here with Kalani and Jacob after the match had ended, and we're sitting around and we're doing like our wrap up and we're talking and stuff like that, and I just started like shivering because I was so cold.
Teeth
Because
started chattering together.
seriously, because we're sitting on these sheet metal chairs, and it just translates all that coolness to you. And our buddy Ruben here is from Minnesota, and he's like,
I'm in shorts tonight.
oh shit, you are in shorts.
This is beautiful weather.
Yeah, I've been in Texas since December. I've acclimated.
Yeah, but you live where you drive, so it doesn't matter.
It's true. It's true.
All right, I think we got Hunter.
Hunter's up.
So this one could be a foot speed
Yeah,
challenge.
for sure.
So he's got about 2 mics to play with based on what everybody's been doing. There they are.
There they are. And he put his in the middle. Everyone else puts them at the end.
There you go.
1061.
That's the exact same as
Yeah.
Garrison
Exact
England.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's unique.
That is unique. So what happens then?
Well, 2 moved on regardless, so those are the 2.
Oh,
So both of the Benelli shooters are out.
they don't fight?
Well, no, because then Jacob would kill someone. That's probably not a
He's a
good
big
idea.
man.
So yeah, that's pretty unique. You don't often see the
No.
exact same time
No.
down to the 100th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But that shows you how quick Garrison was moving for a big fella. He's a big guy himself.
Yeah, well,
And he just ran the same time with the same number of mics as Hunter, so his foot speed was the same.
yeah, that's not too bad. And I think Hunter had like one more mic than him.
Oh, did Garrison
I think Garrison had 2 and then Hunter had 3. I don't know. We'll have to go to the tape. But,
Yeah.
you know, it's it's interesting. I've been talking to Garrison, and he's just been doing like a ton of practice. And
He's gotten a lot better over the last year or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been doing a ton of practice. Looking forward to this match. I shot with him at Copperhead Creek shooting range in Marble Falls. We shot a local match just a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay.
And I noticed, like, Judy's getting after it, like going from position to position, moving way faster than you would normally shoot at like a local match. And he's just in that mode of
what you find is when the guys, it's almost like the call from the minors to the majors in baseball. When the guys get that call up, their drive and their dedication changes.
right.
Because now they know that they have a legitimate shot to do something special. And you saw it with guys that had advanced notice of their pro match, like Blaze Romano in Florida, and some of those other guys.
Yeah.
They were out there. All you saw was them practicing every day of the week. And whether or not they win really doesn't matter, because their skill level is exponentially larger just because they had the opportunity.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's like having that goal. We always said it like with obstacle racing. Once you set the mind of like, okay, May 1st, I'm going to run an obstacle race. I know it's going to be a 10K, so I need to run at least 10K.
Mhm.
I know I need to climb a rope. I know I need to climb a 8-foot wall. So those are things now that you have like actual tangible goals to work to.
Yeah, like a lot of guys, they don't practice shooting a plate rack offhand,
Yeah.
but it's always going to be present in a 3-gun match.
Yep.
Or especially a 3-gun nation match,
Yep.
or this type of format with a shoot-off.
Yep.
So we practice that, and because of that, I mean, the offhand rifle translates to any rifle you're shooting because it's the most difficult. But because of that, they start practicing a new skill set, and then they become more well-rounded as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Jacob,
Mr. Bedsworth, have a beer and have a seat,
have
sir.
a seat, man. We got a chair for you over here, buddy.
We're in here dry and everything. Come on down.
Yes, sir.
You know what we got, Jacob? We have a video. This is new for the 3-Gun Show podcast. So,
Don't kiss him in the middle of the video. Is that what you're saying? Like they can see me?
I don't want to tell you
They
what to
can't
do.
see your hands.
It might
so-
increase viewership.
Yeah.
I never
Depends
want
on what site you put it on.
Yeah.
I never want to tell people what to do. I'm just giving you that warning. That's
Yeah, I
all.
hear you.
So, Jacob, how did it go out there?
Well, I would pay money to have that timer work the first time. I know that much.
Yeah, that was a great run, man.
But it is what it is. So, yeah, I mean,
Did they say what happened? It looked like they may not have reset it
yeah, I don't
properly
think
or
they
something.
reset it.
Yeah.
That's just my assumption, just because it worked right after that when they
Yeah.
hit the button a couple times. But it's just the way this game goes. Is you don't. It's like getting a reshoot.
There's so many things outside of our control that
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
it just goes to show you. I mean, if I had a terrible run and then came back and shot a 10, I'd be sitting here praising it, and if, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And, you know,
no, it's
Like,
So
thank God I had that extra
right,
shot.
right. So you can either do it on demand over and over again, or you can't. I would venture to say my second run was a second slower than my first one. I mean,
Yeah.
you
the
only
first
had
one-
a couple extra mics, but I mean, your cadence was excellent. And it was the last two targets that I think caught you, but it was by no means a bad run.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to think about Hunter, you know, for an example, his run from the beeper to the pistol and then his pistol to the end game.
foot speed's big.
I mean,
big factor.
I'm two Hunters, so
Yeah.
when you get the big truck running, I like to keep running for a while. This like little short
Yeah,
stuff.
Ruben noticed that you ended up in a field over here on our right.
So, not to make an excuse, but I got a bad hoof. My ankle's all jacked up.
I
so
wouldn't have been able to tell that had you
Yeah.
not said that.
I-
'Cause
you
you were
know-
moving well.
The only time this weekend that it's been not just killing me, I think I have something wrong with my Achilles. It's torn or something a little bit because it's. Anyway, long story short, it hurts like hell. And so the only time it hasn't hurt this entire weekend is when I've been on the timer. So
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Doesn't
Thank
hurt,
God.
doesn't hurt till afterwards.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, the chips fell where they were. I mean, you know, realistically, if I'd have shot the first part, you know, the very first stage better, I wouldn't have been in the eliminator anyway. So, but
One thing I've learned about this sport is you can't really say what if too much because
right, I mean,
anything can happen at any time. Any gun can jam. Anything can happen.
That's
And
for sure.
the minute you start questioning everything you do and every little nuance, and the buzzer
Yep.
not working, you're just gonna drive yourself crazy.
right, you know, and realistically, I hit the buzzer and. 3/4 of the way to the dump box, I heard something behind you. But I mean, at the time you turn around and it's not them yelling stop, and
Exactly.
it's something else.
Yeah,
then you're-
yeah.
You can't
So-
stop until they grab you because
Yeah,
the
I'm just
minute
gonna
you
shoot the whole
do,
thing.
now
Yeah.
you're done.
Right. So I'm just gonna, they're gonna have to stop me.
Yeah.
If it was something unsafe, somebody'd be screaming down the range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you haven't
So-
even touched the gun yet, so
We
it can't
actually,
be unsafe.
actually had Rob Tate in front of me, so I couldn't see the timer. I couldn't see that it wasn't working.
Right.
And so when I saw you looking back, I was like, is he showboating?
No.
Well, I
heard-
think
yeah.
he's
I heard
running
Rob
Rob
say
say stop, and he started to walk towards
I
him,
saw that,
but
yeah.
he didn't get. I mean, he finished the race so quickly.
Yeah.
He
what
wasn't
happened
able
was
to get
when
to
I
him.
when I looked up to go towards the stop timer,
You noticed
I saw
that it was
zeros,
zeros,
and I was like,
yeah.
son of a gun, you know. So
Yeah.
I wish I had it on video. I'd like to go back and what is that app where you can get
Oh,
your,
the shot tracker, the Max Michelle one.
Max
yeah.
Michelle
But
shot.
of course, it's not going to show the first beep where I pounded the button, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, in the end, it doesn't matter. So, but
Well,
yeah,
we've got ourselves a shoot-off, guys. We have Garrison England
And this is
Eric
single elimination.
Eckhart. It is?
Yeah.
The first rounds, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather they all be 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first round is always. It's like the semis in the championship.
Right.
It's one round.
well, we talked about this last night. And Kalani spoke to it a little bit last night. Is this format? I mean, there's just no room for error, and several of the people that you watch get eliminated from this match. Both yesterday, Keith Garcia.
Yeah.
Today, you've seen some guys, have fallen, and there's going to be a couple more that are about to fall. But I think realistically, when you go watch, if you watch the results of this match,
Very
the
different than the
regional
results
match,
of.
sure. I mean, because
Yeah.
and so it is what it is. You just have to get here and perform, which is your guns have to perform 100%, and it's harder when it's out here raining, and just is what it is. So, but
So, Ruben, any chance we're going to see you working hard and getting your way on the pro shoot-off here?
I'll always shoot to my ability and push it. I don't know how realistic it is anytime soon, but it would be an absolute blast. It's definitely a goal of mine. I would be lying to myself if I said it wasn't.
he gone.
Oh,
So
man.
Garrison appears to miss a couple plays here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, an absolutely head-to-head match.
Yeah, for sure. Oh,
But it's not
and
going to matter because Eric just took it. So.
Eric just took it. Yeah. I pay $1 to see those clays. Rob, go grab those clays.
But see,
I'm just kidding.
Here's an issue that a lot of the newer guys aren't familiar with. You need to finish this array.
Yeah.
Garrison
Right.
needs to finish this stage
Absolutely. See, this is a
because if this is for $50,000, you don't know if Eric faulted.
Oh, yeah.
right, and that's happened before.
Oh yeah.
So,
I mean, for all he knows, Eric could have dropped a gun.
and that,
Right.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, it's hard to say.
those are warm-ish. I like my beer cold. This is great beer, by the way.
this one's cold.
Is it?
This Grimm Brothers Brew House.
I want to try the IPA.
My
this is
buddy's in
German
love
porter.
with
I'll try this.
Yeah. No matter what you do, you got to finish the stage.
Yeah. Go back in a minute.
Oh, did I just take his spot?
Aaron Hayes joining us here.
What's
Aaron,
up,
how you
guys?
doing, man?
I'm good. Just
It's like
out
Benelli takeover up in here.
It
out,
is.
out here
Hey.
watching my buddies shoot. And
Aaron, I
We
got to
got a
say,
guy against the coup of the Cobalt team.
first of all, Aaron, thank you so much for the dryness.
You're welcome.
We were trying to decide which was better,
I'm telling you, you can't make the decision.
the Grimm Brothers Brew House or the dryness, and we decided
I
not
told
to.
Dave we need a poll.
Yeah.
One and 1A, I would say.
That's what I'm saying. It's a very, very close
Yeah.
match. You're either going to be dry or be drinking. But,
Yep.
You know, I wouldn't want to choose.
So yeah, Aaron, you've got a lot of buddies that are shooting out here. So Garrison England, who we just saw, unfortunately go down to Eric Eckhart.
Yep.
One of your shooters, one of your sponsored shooters, running a Hayes Custom Guns pistol,
He is. Yep. Shotgun too.
shotgun too.
Yep.
Oh, very cool.
So
One of your M2s.
one of my M2s. Yep. And then he's
Nice.
got a 6-inch sight tracker.
Ooh.
And then
Those are
Lance
nice.
Jacob, they are nice.
Yeah.
Rick has a brand new one.
I'm a big fan.
I got to mess around with Rick's today. So a little behind the scenes. I got to.
You better clarify what you're messing around with there, Dave.
I'll get to it.
Don't be talking about my 6-inch.
It's called a tease. So
I think it's a 5.5, isn't it?
Round.
Is that metric or?
Yeah.
come on.
No, I mean, I
guys.
really think it is a 5.5, right?
This is a family show.
isn't your pistol a 5.5-inch pistol?
No.
Your new one?
No, it's 6.
Oh, who'd you build a 5? Oh, sorry.
Dylan.
Ben was just telling me he built a 5.5-inch
Well,
pistol. that has
Dylan
a-
got it.
Dylan has
That's
a
who it was,
5.5
sorry.
inch.
That was like
Yep.
a few
wrong,
months ago. though, I
wrong
think.
bearded chubby
Yeah.
guy. So
Yeah.
So I got to check out Rick's pistol before he did because I went up to Hayes Custom Guns to hang out for a little bit, and got to check it out today with like a hammer, some internal parts, a
nice.
trigger.
Yeah, it was about 80% when you were in the
Yeah.
shop a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago. So
And ironically, at 80%, it was still cooler than almost any gun I've ever seen.
I don't,
Even though it didn't work yet.
no one. So I posted that on Instagram and like
it kind of blew up.
kind of
did,
blew up.
yeah.
People loved that gun,
Yeah.
and so your brother Ben was absolutely right about posing it and everything.
Yep.
Oh,
And,
yeah, when you do a handgun picture, it's got to be staged.
Oh,
If-
dude.
If it's not,
so what was the
Ben-
picture? Do you have it handy?
Ben,
it's just sitting upright.
So
with,
so
with tools
backstory
in
to
the
this picture.
background and-
Dave comes in the shop. He hung out for a few hours,
Mhm.
and above the office
some
in our
phone
shop,
calls.
there's an like an upstairs part above the office.
Okay.
Little
Like a
mezzanine.
conference
we
room
use it
type
for
area?
storage. Well, we have like a
Oh,
little
okay.
mezzanine
photo booth, like a just a white
Really?
little fabric
Oh,
deal with a light
okay.
over it.
I got you.
So I take Dave up there, up some fairly dangerous stairs that we had piled with stuff. And right as we were getting ready to take pictures, his phone rings. So he goes walking towards the front of the building and just cracks his head on one of the beams,
Oh,
metal
yeah.
beams.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, cracked his head. So then he was on the phone for like 20 minutes. So we go back
Funny,
down.
because he doesn't seem any smarter.
Yeah.
today.
So then we go back down
It
and
didn't reset. That's for sure.
and I was like, you know what, we should do this on the workbench since it's not finished yet. So Dave comes down, we take the picture, and he says, man, I thought we were going to do the photo booth. Your photo booth nearly killed me. And I said, well, Dave, that was the decoy photo booth. If you survive that one, then you get to see
Yeah.
the real one, which is a workbench. So
Which I'd been standing next to the whole
that's
time.
right. He passed the test.
You're welcome, Dave.
I know.
You've passed the first barrier.
That's right.
You know what's crazy is like it was such a low speed impact, but god dang it, that hurt so bad.
Yeah, the metal beam at the lowest
Was
speed
it on
possible still
rafters?
hurts.
Yes.
Like a rafter
Yeah,
up
yeah,
on
just
top?
the metal beams
Yeah.
in the shop.
Yep, steel I-beam. Yeah,
So it
that
was,
was rough.
Pretty good.
But then so I got a great picture of Rick's pistol here that I'll show you, Jacob, since you're not on the grams.
I'm on the grams, but I just thought, well,
You don't use the grams.
Apparently
don't
he's
use
not
the grams.
on it.
Yeah.
Right.
I got lots of fans.
It's like Grinder, right? You're on Grinder.
I am.
I don't know.
Oh,
You seem to know a lot about grinding.
Am I the only
Dude,
one?
I don't even know what grinder is.
I don't
so.
either.
It's like Tinder for
Okay,
For
no.
Dave.
Those
same,
guys?
same people's.
I'm happily married by everybody. So if you're listening to this, don't worry.
You don't want a guy on the side?
No, I'm good.
Hunter Sykes is. Oh man, he like was 2 steps into the array before.
The dude is so
Wow.
fast. It's not even fair.
He really is.
Well, to be fair, he's a U.S. Marshal. He was taught directly by Tommy Lee Jones.
Is that right? I
He
didn't know
actually
that.
caught Wesley Snipes right before
Yeah.
he came here.
That's why there's no sequel.
So Hunter went backward on the plate
That's actually
array.
the
So
right
this is
way.
good.
But
And these are the right two guys to be going for 1 and 2 here. If I'm not going to be there, these are the guys that
yeah,
I'd like to see there. Hunter last year we shot against each other in the Pro Series.
he's a great shooter.
Yeah, it really is.
He was in mine 2 years ago.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. So we, that one you go stage to stage, and if you survive it, then you go to the eliminator. If you don't survive it, you go to the eliminator. I got all the way to the end stage. and it was Hunter and I can't remember who the third person was. Oh, Tommy Smith.
Oh,
And
okay.
so that was with the rifle spinner.
Oh, yeah.
So I had some Fiocchi 77 grain that I was shooting.
The big boy rounds.
The big boy rounds, yeah. And Hunter didn't have any rounds, and so I had shot and things went really well. And so Hunter's like, "Man, what did you use?" Because I shot the top plate once, bottom plate twice, and I think I hit the top plate one more time.
like
and
4 or
it's
5
done.
rounds
Yeah.
you've done. Yeah.
Shot it like 41, which is like that was the epitome of what I was going to do that day for sure.
Well, that's a great time. Dan was like 40. So,
Yeah, right. And so Hunter's like, "Hey, man." So I had like whatever was left in my big stick mag,
Yeah.
and so I was like,
Because you didn't need the eliminator anymore.
yeah, right. So I was like, I was pretty sure that I was going to be okay. So I was like, "Here, man, take my ammo." And so he shot it, and he said, "I don't know what the point of impact is." I was like, "Dude, it's like 50 yards. It ain't going to
Yeah.
matter,
You'll be an
And
inch
so he
off.
crushed it too.
Yeah.
And Tommy Smith was not happy with me, I don't think, because I gave Hunter the ammo. But Hunter shoots a ton of PRS and a ton of rifle.
Oh, he does.
yeah, these are great.
He just won the Bushnell Brawl in the tactical division.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Good for him.
He is no slouch with a precision rifle.
Yeah.
I mean, he's no slouch anywhere. I mean, for sure. But yeah, definitely in the PRS world, that's definitely his game.
Yeah,
So-
for sure.
Those heavy bullets make a huge difference
Oh yeah,
on
for
that
sure.
spinner.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure they do, man. Like I've really liked the 55 grain Hornady VMAX that I shoot because they're super accurate. But man, they make that spinner like super tough to.
Well, they
at-
don't.
At
So-
Fort Benning, we had a rifle spinner at probably 40 to 50 yards, shooting
Mhm.
out of a Jeep, and you could definitely tell who was shooting the right bullets.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
Yeah. So so what do you recommend then? It's like a minimum
69 plus.
Yeah.
69 plus.
Yeah. And I think the AMU actually did a
I saw a
study
video on
how-
Facebook
about how hard
the
the 77s hit, like
energy transfer.
30% harder than a 55 grain. I think they tested at 300. Don't quote
Oh,
me on
wow.
that. But so I use them for, I mean, they're obviously more accurate at long range, but I use them on any kind of flasher, or like back when a few years ago when LaRue targets were all the rage.
Yeah.
You had to hit those with
By
a
the way,
77.
screw LaRue targets at Three Gun Nation Nationals.
You heard it here first. people.
Yeah, Mark LaRue's going to
Oh.
come drop bombs on you now.
Dude, I will fight him with a toothpick. Those
You really have no idea what kind of you just unleashed. But
Yeah.
yeah, no,
bring it, Mark LaRue.
Oh, ignorance is bliss.
No, what I'm saying is like screw those in 3-gun because we use like
Flash.
we're shooting 223, right?
right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
those things are so hard to knock down because you have to hit them like higher
third.
than everything. Top third, right?
Well, realistically, when they're set correctly,
They're great.
they're great.
Yeah.
They just never stay.
Well, here's the thing
Well,
with
then
those.
they sucked at Three Gun Nation Nationals. They were freaking terrible. And
Right.
granted, we were shooting in a hurricane, and that was before they did the what's it called?
But I mean, realistically, here's the deal. As we talk about it, it brings up a great point. When you're at a major match,
Consistency.
ideally, what you would want is long-range targets that always knock over, because otherwise you're dealing
Yeah.
with an RO calling hits that you
It's
are
very, very
always,
questionable.
Well,
you're
and-
always going to disagree with, no
and
matter
they,
what.
they wouldn't call hits.
But that's perfect because you have falling targets. So
Right.
if you have a consistently falling long-range target that can self-reset,
Oh,
then it's on you.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I got you,
You know
now.
what I'm saying? And so as long as you can get that done, that's actually the fairest way to do it.
yeah,
the
the
problem
problem. Go ahead.
I was going to say, the problem with those targets is it was designed as like a sniper training target.
Yes,
So
for
they would,
larger caliber, right?
Yeah, well, they would go out and they would use them and shoot for the day and then bring them back in, clean them up, charge them up, everything. When you're sitting out there
3
for
days.
3
in a
days,
row.
full
Yeah.
of lead, full of dust. We had some out at Superstition a few years ago.
Right.
And
The calibration gets so screwed up.
It is. There's no
because
way to keep them
The rocks
consistent.
get inside the mechanism, and then they get under it, and then changes the angles. And,
By the
you
way,
know,
folks, this is an actual engineer talking about what's wrong here.
Yeah. So listen up. No.
Listen up, Mark LaRue.
Hey, I'm not going there.
Right.
You already did that.
Rick and I are smart here. I want to
Yeah.
keep my life.
Hashtag veteran.
Yeah.
I also, in one podcast, was complaining about the Brian Enos forums, but instead of saying Brian Enos forums, I just said Brian Enos.
No.
Yeah, the word form is kind of important there.
Yeah. So I'm no stranger to hate mail for shit that I say. I don't care.
Yeah. You know what? I guess this just goes to speak to this too, and I've seen it across anywhere, but people get their freaking feelings hurt all the time. It's like, just stop getting your feelings hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And like understand like context and stuff like that. Aaron, thank you for joining us, man. Garrison, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You speak a little quieter than Aaron does.
Okay.
How'd it go out there, Garrison?
You know, man,
Bad.
It's a tough format. It's a tough format.
It's a tough format.
That's the only way to put it, in my opinion.
And, you know, I've never really done a shoot-off before.
Get your
so
heart pumping.
That's like an adrenaline dump from
So
all.
first, experience. What's your thought?
I mean, I got done, and the adrenaline, I was pumped. Even
Yeah.
though I lost, I was like, wow, you know, it really ran great.
It really feels like nothing else
So-
in the shooting world. I mean,
Especially when you didn't get beat.
Lance, grab a beer, grab a microphone. We're in the losers bracket over here. There's no way to get yourself back. So.
oh, should I leave?
No. You actually founded it. You were here
Oh,
before
okay.
the rest of us. So.
If I don't win my match, I'm gonna come
What
hate
makes the losers bracket?
Well, not turning on your mic, first of all.
like a loser.
Sorry, I got to bring you in soft, buddy. What?
Yeah.
Give me some words.
Test one, test one,
Oh,
test
my God.
two,
That's
test
super
two.
annoying. Never
That-
mind. You can go back to your car. No, I'm just kidding.
Lance, how did it go out there, man? It's a little wet tonight.
I shot like a drowned rat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like already drowned.
I shot like a drowned rat.
Like already drowned.
Like already drowned?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was tough. I just didn't shoot well. I got a bad grip on my pistol every time, and yanked the trigger a whole lot, and did the same on my rifle. I guess the shotgun worked.
Yeah. Little pitch to Benelli here. I think I went 1 for 1 on every clay I shot tonight, by the way.
Hardest target out there.
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
Here we go.
right.
Eckhart and Sykes.
this is
and
going to be a
Sykes.
heck
This
of
is
a,
a good
match here,
matchup.
guys.
Exact same first shot.
Oh, Eric's out
Hunter's
first.
Eric's out
about
first.
2
Hunter's
clays
up to
behind.
Eric's ahead. He just comes off the rifle right now.
Oh,
Hunter's
yeah.
got 3 left.
Hunter's in trouble.
Hunter
here.
is 3
Oh, yeah.
rifle plates behind.
Eric's
and now
halfway through the pistol.
Yeah.
There it is.
Eric won that one.
Eric won.
So,
Hunter's in.
Eric,
And Hunter's not finishing.
He knows better. This is disappointing.
The winner of the rifle is the winner of the contest.
Yeah.
so
Always.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you,
In a shoot-off,
you said that
always.
for 3 years now,
Yeah.
man. It's
Well, first of all, for me, I'm sorry, but it doesn't really come down to whether win or lose. I mean, if you lose, it doesn't matter. Finish it. I'm going to shoot that thing till I'm out of ammo,
Yeah.
because it's a pride thing for me. Like, I'm at least going to finish this dang thing. Eric's been super focused today when I saw him shooting, and I'm pretty sure one of the years of the Pro Series, either the qualifier after the qualifier or the Pro Series, his Pro Series match, he was not unable to go because he was deployed, and so I think he's got a little more freedom now. I think he's moving towards retirement or is retired, I think, now. So he's gotten a little more focused when it comes to the 3-gun world. And that dude, especially if you catch him at a big outlaw match, you're in for a
He's a
run.
stud.
You're in for a run for your money. That
So is it going to be a straight 2, or are they going to go to 3?
it's going to be a straight 2. I'm sorry, but
I think this one's going to go to Hunter.
you think so?
you think?
Yeah, Hunter's good in round 2. He beat Greg Jordan in round 2 in
He
the
did.
finals.
Yeah. So actually, they're both really good buddies. Actually, of all of ours. I mean, they're
Yeah.
just great guys. Hard to not like them. So
Yeah, this
They're
is kind
both
of
very likable individuals.
really, yeah, honestly, I mean, you got guys like Rick Birdsall, Jacob Betzworth up there. Like
We're
everybody's
assholes.
rooting
We
against
are
us.
assholes.
Yeah. Everybody's rooting against us.
Yeah.
But
I hope he falls.
Yeah.
hard because he's big. He'll probably make a huge dent.
Yeah, they're here for the show.
Yeah, right.
So you're Hunter. You're going for Eckhart.
I think
if I'm putting my money on something right now, I'm going to put it on that card again. He's
Lance?
focused.
I'd say it's going to be 2.
2.
I don't know what that means. 2 and
I'm
out.
going with Eric too. Eric.
As we
Eric's
like to
on
call
fire
it,
right now.
as we like to call it, 2 and barbecue.
and don't get me wrong, Eric is my boy, but Hunter is good on the second stage,
Yeah,
second
for
array.
sure.
Yeah.
I think Hunter shoots with a lot of emotion. We saw that from him when he was shooting with Greg.
Yep.
And I think being down one brings up that emotion is going to make him.
That beast inside.
Yeah.
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 But I mean, Eric's very consistent. He's
Yeah.
a great shooter.
He is.
And you know,
Oh, he's also a beast.
And he
Yeah,
shoots
yeah.
very mean rifle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You know
He's
what?
got a heck of a rifle gun.
and what was it you said, Lance? He who wins the rifle wins the match.
I mean, it really is the truth.
Yeah. They should go back to those like 12-inch plates they had at that one finals.
Yeah.
And then it would be a
And
little more
Eric
even.
went and got about $200 worth of wet gear to come out and practice today
Yeah.
and shoot the end of the day.
I think he maxed out his credit card. He went. He comes back with like a brand new like $400 coat, some new cleats. I'm like, where did you go? Oh, I went into town.
Raided a Cabela's.
Yeah, I was like, wow, man. Like,
Nova Soda?
yeah, right.
Who knew?
Went to the general
I'm
or
out here like
Ace Hardware in
Yeah.
Nova Soda.
I'm out here in a 30-cent trash bag with 3 holes
know.
poked in it, 2 for my arms and 1 for my head.
I couldn't find my umbrella today. I was like
in Eric's
freaking out.
defense, he did say there was a sale going on.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
And actually, it's a shoot off of the Glocks.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
They're saying something.
That's 2 of the 3 Glocks that shoot 3-gun.
Well, we know who's never going to get sponsored by Glock ever. Lance Gamer, everybody.
Oh, shucks.
He has a dozen of them. I mean,
The
I don't know
internet
if-
is exploding right now. People telling 2011s are not very good.
Yeah, you know what cracks me up is there's like you can't see what you don't see, right? Like everybody at local matches shoots Glocks. You know,
Right,
there's
right.
shotloads of dudes that shoot special
I
weapons.
shot a Glock though.
And I
my
know
first
Lance,
couple
you're being
years.
facetious and stuff.
It's
but
actually probably the best intro gun you can have. 'cause it's
Absolutely.
so
For the price, you can't
user-friendly.
beat it.
oh yeah,
I mean, everything about it.
yeah, and I know you're just messing around, but for
That's
the-
Lance backing up off his original statement.
no,
Gaston Glock, he's sorry. He didn't mean that. He was just kidding.
geez, I attack LaRue, he
Yeah,
attacks
Actually, I
Gaston.
probably
very popular
have
show.
more Glocks than
I'm going to
most
leave
people.
because I mean, I
Yeah.
don't want to be associated with any of y'all.
All
All
right,
right,
here
we're
we
up
go.
here, guys. Last run, or maybe the last run. We'll
Oh,
see.
here it goes. These guys are really humping it too.
Ooh, same first shot.
Yep.
And
So it's
Off the
close.
shotgun at the
to
same
mark
time.
at the exact same time.
Eric's got
Hunter's coming back.
Oh,
Eric,
man.
Eric,
Here we go.
Eric to the pistol first.
Eric's missing with the
Real
handgun.
excited.
oh, he's got one. He's
This
gonna
is going to be close.
Oh,
got
Eric
it.
Harper for the win.
Yep.
Eric won it on the pistol,
Hunter
man.
pushed it too hard on the handgun.
Yep.
Well, I won $1,000 betting amongst my friends here.
I'm gonna need to owe you that 250, buddy.
And I guess we both beat Rick. I don't know if that means anything. but I'm so used to it anymore. That's just kind of getting
So much from learning from the past.
Do you mind if I touch the beard or no? Is that a?
You can, but try not to get too aroused.
That is ridiculous.
That's a little
Pretty nice.
creepy.
I just ferment mine just so it's all the same color. It looks
Oh, really?
thicker. Yeah, this guy just.
Yeah, I don't do that. It's just motor oil.
Dude, I
Rick,
synthetic.
are you shooting limited here?
I am.
How's it going?
My abilities feel limited as well.
Do you feel like you're beating the other two guys in the limited division?
Sadly, no. Sadly, no. I'm losing in the Special Olympics. It's pretty great.
Yeah. So actually, I thought they had some pretty good stages. Well, not actually. I mean, they had some pretty good stages here today. We shot the base
I
stages
think they,
today.
yeah. I mean, the base stages have a good mix of movement and
Yeah.
offhand rifle. You know, just enough shotgun.
Yeah.
Not a lot of shotgun loading, but we're gonna have that jungle run later.
All
so-
shotgun stage.
yeah.
Yep.
So we finished on 2 today, which was a bunch of shotgun at the end, and
Yep.
so it had rained and then it stopped, and so things got super tacky.
The ground was terrible.
Well, we had
Oh, jeez.
at first, like the first 4 shooters in our squad, the ground was really tacky, so you could run fast. You just had like a pound
3
of,
pounds of mud on each foot.
But then it started to rain, and so it got that like a scab effect where underneath it was super like it was
so it got
man.
slick.
It was bad, real bad. So,
Yeah.
walking around with big old mud.
Well, I
mud
mean, it was
clops
just
on
so
your shoes.
slick. I gave up probably, man, I don't even know, 10, 15 seconds on that stage. It was
Yeah.
unproductive.
Are you shooting open?
No, I'm shooting. I just shot iron sights because I had to fly down here, so I don't want to fly down with 2 sets of guns.
So are you shooting factory?
No. I'm just shooting.
Oh,
tac
you're
ops.
shooting tactical.
Practical, tactical.
Not mine.
Yeah, Aaron was signed up for factory, but I guess that was incorrect.
Oh, really? He-
Yeah.
Aaron
Talk-
Hayes?
Yeah.
Yeah, he talked about it. He was going to
Shoot
try to do
factory.
a
He said he couldn't get
a
the right
limited
loophole
swap.
to,
Yeah, he
to do
couldn't-
it because they don't make the Priz anymore.
No,
and that's the one you would want if you had to run
I
the
still
loophole
have
stuff.
a couple of them, and they are pretty good. I mean,
For our game. It's like the Spitfire. I mean, the Spitfire right now it's the best option you buy for the limited division. You
Yeah.
just- you
does
can't.
it have BBCs
I'm shooting a
in it
Spitfire
or
this.
not?
No, but
this time.
I don't like BDCs
Yeah,
because you're
gotta
talking
be
about
smaller.
such a small.
Right. Might as well just hold over and be done with it.
Yeah, the way I do it, 300 you make a figure 8, 400 you make a street light with nothing in the middle. I mean that's it.
wow.
300, you make a figure 8. You, go
You
underneath
set
of
the
it?
dot on top of the target,
Okay.
and then 400 you make a street light. I mean makes it stupid simple, and you don't have to think.
And if it goes to 500, they're big enough. You don't have to worry about it. You just get way over top of it. And
Yeah, and just hope because at that
Figure
point,
eights and
500 with
street
irons
lights.
is just
everybody
a
else
bonus.
everybody else is shooting irons with you, so
Right, they're not going to hit it.
Right.
So-
I mean, or if they, yeah, right. So
If you do, they do, or if they do, you will. I mean, yeah.
I actually don't use holdovers. I jerk the trigger at different levels to make the scope right. underneath.
Pro tip, you got to lead with pro tip.
you are a jerk. That is for
Thanks,
sure.
man.
No, yeah, I've never been a big fan of BDCs in one power optics because
Yeah.
it makes it very, very busy. Because
like
then
put-
on all the other stages, you got all this other shit on the bottom
Right,
of the
right.
optic.
It's kind of like putting rims on a Yugo.
Yeah. Which from Detroit, they do that a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Oh, Detroit. So they're interviewing Eric. They're interviewing Hunter.
You think we'll get him to come by?
It's all done.
Do they usually
get 'em
come
to
by
come
over
by.
here? Yeah. Let's
I know
talk to
one
some of
thing.
'em.
Eric's buying whiskey tonight.
That's no different than any other night
No,
in the
like-
life
like
of
our
Eric
whiskey,
Eckhart.
though.
Oh, okay.
Because he just won $1,000. So
That's
Yeah, but-
$1,000.
winner gets 1,000. Second place gets 500. So
And go to Virginia for
Oh, is
the
that
10
right?
grand.
I'll be darned.
yep. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go ice my aching ankle.
Okay, Jacob, thank you for joining me here, man.
Yeah, man.
Good
It's
seeing you,
awesome
buddy.
as usual.
Take
Great to
care,
see you guys.
everyone. Enjoyed
Where
it.
you guys
We're gonna go eat some
starting
dinner.
tomorrow?
All right.
What's that?
What
Lance?
stage you guys on tomorrow?
Good to see you, man.
I don't even
Thank you.
know.
The back
It's-
half of those?
Yeah.
Okay.
We shot base stages today, so.
Lance?
Thank you, Lance.
Well,
Always a
we'll see you
pleasure,
floating
guys.
around.
It's fun.
We're on the back, too.
It was
Jacob,
fun.
thanks, buddy.
Thanks, brother. Always a pleasure. Oh,
This is Garrison.
I'm stiffer in high school.
Well,
I don't think we can repeat that.
I hope that got caught on the mics.
I do, too.
Garrison.
What's up?
You did a lot of practice coming into this. This is your first pro shoot-off.
Well, it's my second year in the Pro Series, at least
is
in
your
the
second-
eliminator format. I was there last year, and I went through first round. I actually lost to Jacob Betzworth last year in the second round, so I regained my pro card for 2017. So, but it is the first time I've ever done a shooter versus shooter, style shoot-off. So it's
So what's your initial impression? Having never done a shoot
never
off
done.
before.
I mean.
What was going through your mind while you're out there?
All I could think of was right before the buzzer, to be honest with you, is how Eric is about to outrun the crud out of me.
Oh, really?
That was the last thing I thought of was like, man, just get to that
I'm gonna
shot.
go ahead and give you a little bit of advice. It's probably not the right frame of mind to be in at the beginning of a stage.
What
Just
should
gonna
you be,
throw that out there.
what should you be thinking about?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I mean, just getting that gun up and getting on target and then letting everything get into rhythm.
See, I
Yeah.
thought, well, I wanted to think about the not the shooting side. If I think about the shooting, I'm really going to screw it up. So I just
Yeah.
thought about how I needed to beat this guy in a run. And actually, from what I was told, I got to the gun first, which was surprising to me.
I didn't see.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people in front of us. We'd have to go to the tape.
Yeah.
So that's what Mike told
You were
me.
moving well. I mean, it's very close. Even if you look at a guy like Hunter and a guy like you, me, Jacob, bigger guys in the sport, it's very close regardless. I mean, you're talking about a 20-yard dash. The difference is only going to be a quarter of a step from the fastest guy to the slowest guy. It's not going to be, you're going to make up a lot more time other places.
Mhm.
It's one makeup shot with the rifle on the plate rack.
Right.
I did, but like Dave was saying, I did do a lot of practice coming into this. I have a very generous new ammo sponsor named Highland Lakes Ammo that basically was like, we want you to do really great this year, and gave me a really good amount of ammo to try out and test. And so I've shot a lot of handgun, trying to get better at the handgun because I feel it's my weakest gun. So coming here, I actually feel that I didn't shoot my handgun very well, except about the only time I shot it really well tonight was in the eliminator, and I was like, man, that's the greatest time to do, because like all my practice runs were terrible this morning or this afternoon, I guess. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's fun. I enjoy it. It's a shame that I guess it's not going away. It's going away from a standalone format.
Yeah,
from what I've been told. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know if
going to be
that's the final.
piggybacked on the regionals,
Yeah.
from what I
Yeah.
understand.
And it's not going to be like
it's not a series. I mean, there's not.
Yeah, it's not going to
say
be
what you want.
It's not
but
going to be
it's
a pro
series.
series
Yeah.
like it used to be. They're looking at like a more of a divisional champion.
Divisional
type thing.
shoot-offs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
divisional shoot-offs. Which makes sense. A lot of other matches are doing that.
Well, ironically, that's how they started.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Is
know,
it ironic, or are they coming back to their roots?
well, but they're
Taking it
doing it
back
with
to
their
the
own
old
matches
school.
now instead of the outlaw.
Yeah,
So they used to piggyback on the outlaw matches,
Mhm.
and that's how they kind of got their wheels turning.
Yep.
And that was fun. It was a lot of fun. So I mean, I don't anticipate
Did you
it'll
shoot in that type of format?
be. I don't think I ever shot well enough to be
Oh,
in a
okay.
shoot off at one of those old ones.
But you were there.
Yeah, I mean, you had to be top 8
Right.
in TO. It was only TO, I think.
No, I think they had an open one the first year. 'Cause I remember seeing it on the TV show.
Honestly,
and
I don't
watched Jerry
remember.
and I'm gonna really butcher this name. Michael, is it Michael Voigt?
Voigt,
yeah.
Voigt, yeah.
Thank you. And I remember watching them shoot it, and they were shooting open gear like the first year.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, my whole goal of making the Pro Series is I really wanted to shoot those Bay style stages like everybody else.
Dude, and that was
I missed the. In
that
my
was-
opinion, I missed the
and you're going to hear that
glory
from every
days
person that qualifies
ever.
from the
Yeah.
Pro Series or for
Yeah.
the Pro Series, because that's why they did it.
Yeah.
They were the coolest stages. They were the hardest. They were the most taxing. They tested everything.
Yeah.
Um,
The first year I went and tried to qualify. I didn't make it the first year I tried it. That was the first year of the Eliminator Series. So I didn't really ever get. I was bummed when I heard they were losing it because I was like, man, that was the 6 matches shooting. Really, in my opinion, the best of the best.
you got to see how you stacked up.
Yeah.
There was no excuses.
Yeah.
You performed against the best in the world, and you saw where you finished.
Yep.
And that's what it was.
So, but I mean, hopefully, we'll see what they come up with. I have hope that it'll be just as good at the regionals. So, it'll probably get me to go to more regionals. I don't know about you guys.
Well, I think that's probably part of
The
the point
goal.
behind it.
Yeah.
Is that they'll get more attendance at regionals.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I
mean,
mean, at the end of the day, it's a business.
oh, absolutely.
So I don't fault them for that at all.
Yeah,
No,
and,
I
you
don't
know,
either.
Sometimes I think people complain like, "Oh, Three-Gun Nation's a business," but when has business been bad? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, everything's fucking business for God's sake.
Yeah.
So good for them, and good for them for doing things that encourage people to come to their event. So
I mean,
good for them.
they've grown the sport in the past 4 years more than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
I mean, it allows me to do what I'm doing now and representing some of these great companies like Cobalt and Vortex and Atlanta Arms and all that. And I never would have had that opportunity because I would have just been a guy at a local match in the Midwest. But now I get a chance to show what I can do to the world, and that wasn't an option.
And with that being said, like, you're right. It has opened up more and more industry. The more and more industry's eyes to Three-Gun. The
Look
company.
at all these names on these shirts.
Yeah. The company
Shirts didn't even exist back then. There were like 4 of them.
So, that was the first thing I.
Why are you showing me your nipples, Dave? I don't understand.
Oh,
what's going on.
I mean, the
Three-Gun
Three-Gun
show
Oh,
shirt. Yeah.
oh, okay.
Sorry.
My bad.
One of the companies I'm representing this year, 2A Armament. That was the first thing they said. They were like, "Well, we've seen Three-Gun Nation,
Yeah.
because they're just getting into Three-Gun."
Are you
so,
on Three-Gun Nation?
Yeah, that was one of the first things. Is, and they were really were looking forward to this tonight. Like,
Yeah.
that was one of their things, and one of their main things is like we want, that's they felt was the highest level. Now,
Right.
I don't know if that's truly how it is anymore.
Well, it's unfortunate that a lot of companies. I mean, there were companies that were on board when it was the Pro Series, the old school style. But it's unfortunate there weren't more because I think they would have gotten even more value out of it and seen how truly difficult it was.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a lot of great sponsors on here now. But had they been around when it was 50 guys shooting against each other and, seeing where you rank, that may have had a bigger impact on them to try to support the people that were putting in the work to get there.
Right.
But
No, just see what time it was. Looks like they're wrapping up, guys.
Oh, yeah.
we got to find Eckhart. I want to talk to him or Hunter.
Well, let's holler him. I see
Can you
him
go
right over
find
there.
him?
I'm gonna head out.
I can't
Guys,
yell.
Dave, it's been great.
Okay.
The
Thank you,
tarp
Garrison.
situation.
Hayes Custom Guns.
Hayes Custom Guns.
Hayes Custom Guns.
We've been talking about it all night, baby.
I'm good. That's all I wanted. That was what I was going
Yeah.
for. That's why I gave it.
Well, I told him he needs to do a poll, and I don't want to vote because this is a very tough decision. So I'm curious what your thought would be.
Okay.
What is more important right now, the beer sponsor or the tent sponsor?
Well, the beer sponsor's great, but without the tent sponsor, none of it would even be here. We'd be sitting in a
exactly.
truck
True.
somewhere.
It's a very tough decision.
Yeah. So I'll go get Eric because I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, you see
Dave,
Eric right there?
it's
Go
been-
grab him.
It's been a pleasure, Rick. It's always
to
a
see you,
pleasure,
buddy.
Best of luck tomorrow and finishing.
Thanks,
the race.
Garrison, thanks for playing, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, see, I think everybody's going to be split on the most important sponsor here, whether it's the beer or if it's the tent.
Dude,
I feel like we need a poll.
I feel like your girlfriends back there are trying to get you to go with them.
Yeah,
Keith and
Kalani's
Kalani and
very
all them.
needy at times.
You got a few more minutes to hang out?
Yeah, it's my car.
Oh, that's right, it is.
Yeah.
By the way, you said same car as your regular car. I thought you drove a Tahoe for some
No.
reason.
It's a different color, but I have a Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Oh, okay.
The Victor. You don't need to take your jacket off. We can't see you, so it's only audio.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. The
you can stay warm. So we don't want to lose. We're not trying to lose viewership here.
I think the camera took some water damage a minute ago. So
Is it from the shockwave I left when I
That's
ran
worth
by?
hit it.
Yeah.
And
Did he really?
no.
Oh,
so Eric Eckhart, welcome to
The
the show,
champion.
man.
Thank you, Dave. It's
Way
good
to
to
go,
finally be on
buddy.
here. And Rick, good to see you again, brother.
Yeah, man.
How you been?
I always like seeing you, man.
Yeah.
You're one of the first people I met in the sport.
Yeah, we
you
shot
and I
together
back
for
in
a little
FN,
while.
like
Yeah. I was still wearing
2011, 2012.
multicam and shooting something.
Dude, you look so tactical. It's unbelievable.
steadily got less tactical throughout the years. Just ask all my friends.
Yeah. He's in a doorway shooting at people. Doesn't he know cover?
I don't know what you're talking about, Rick.
Yeah. I guess it can get you killed in the streets.
It's
So
true.
what'd you guys think of the show?
Dude, it was interesting, man.
Yeah.
I was
My money was on Hunter in round 2, and I thought
Yeah.
you'd come back in 3 because Hunter's always been good in the second
Yeah.
round because that's when he beat Greg.
Yeah, he's got a solid mental game. Like
He
he
does.
puts himself
Exactly.
in a good spot.
Yeah.
And he's real good at getting the details down.
Yeah.
You know, and-
So I figured it would go you,
Yeah.
Hunter, you.
Yeah.
But you took it in 2. That
Eric-
worked.
yeah,
Eric, one of the things I've always heard about you is that you move like a gazelle. You move very fast.
See, and I argue with that.
and
I
I-
said
and I-
linebacker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I proved that that's not true.
Well, it's a little different out to tonight because it's all rainy and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
so what? Tell me about the conditions out there and what you're dealing with and what your strategy was going into it.
So it's not as bad as it looks, but it's definitely something you have to take in consideration. And I'm wearing, linebacker cleats.
Sounds like every woman on a date with me ever.
One game at a time, man. Rick, you could give me a lot of trouble, all right?
I said with me, not with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Guilty conscience.
You
But
did that
no,
yourself.
So at first I thought, you're going to have to work on breaking down. The start wasn't going to be as energetic, and then breaking down before the box, you kind of prance into
Few
the
steps
box.
early,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. But the conditions aren't that bad, and the cleats are really biting. And
You running metal or plastic?
No, just old Sharks.
Yeah, that's what I got. Similar.
So it helped a lot, and it actually felt like something that I could have trained a little more on. Could have been maybe even a little more dynamic, not carried so much energy, more dynamic on my stop, and not carrying so much energy into picking up my weapon.
Right.
So
Now you've had shoot-off experience, haven't you?
no.
So this was your first. I
This
mean,
is-
you've obviously had quite a bit of experience in other areas. But
Yeah.
So this was your first shoot-off experience.
It was absolutely.
So I asked Garrison the same thing. What'd you think?
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I was like, it's not going to really get me going, but I was amped. From
When you
Jump
get
Street.
done putting that pistol down,
Yeah.
there's nothing like it.
Yeah. No, I was.
I mean, your blood is pumping.
Oh, even while shooting the pistol and
when you
catching,
turn and look,
catching those plates fall in your peripheral,
Yeah.
and just hearing the other guy shoot, it's competition.
I've
you know?
never
It's-
been a part of something
it's-
that competitive.
It's head to head widhout making contact.
Yeah,
And,
it's a duel without shooting at each other.
it-
It's
it,
as close as it gets.
kind
No, I
of
mean,
the
seriously.
same as any other any other sport where you're going off while I'm shooting. It's I hope his gun breaks or something. Meteor hits him. But as soon as it's over, it's good times.
Yeah.
Happy to see the guy there. Happy to see that we were one plate away. It
Yeah.
just makes that more exciting, So, but this
I
was,
love it, man.
This is more addictive than I thought it was going to be.
You're speaking like a guy with an addiction. Like,
now Eric's only gonna practice. He's gonna just keep calling me like, "Hey, dude, come down. We're gonna shoot off."
I got to set up.
I
man.
got to set up. Like, dude, you live like 9 hours away.
It's in a high school parking lot. We don't have a lot of time, but
Heather, I got cans on everything. We're good.
Heather, come around the clock and look for blue lights.
When I say run, you run.
High school parking lot.
We could probably do it in Detroit though. Get away with it.
That would be a lull in fire in Detroit. Man, if only 2 guys were shooting.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, I mean, in my experience, man, it's the coolest. It's the coolest environment to be in.
I love 3-gun because it's one sport, but it's so many different looks, and it stretches out every gun you're shooting into things you wouldn't think you could do with that
Thousands
gun.
of disciplines with that thing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and you have to be good at all of them. And I used to say you're constantly chasing your tail to try to, I haven't shot slugs in a while, I haven't done this in a while. And
What am I bad at today?
Exactly,
yeah,
right.
That's
And
how
that-
I train. I mean, and I'm sure Eric does too. It's what am I
Absolutely.
struggling with?
Like for coming into this, I shot maybe 200 rounds and just tried to work the movement.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, and in a shoot-off, the weapon transitions are huge.
Yeah.
Because that's why Keith is very successful and
Yeah.
has been for a long time. Is
Yeah.
because his gun transitions are like unlike
That-
anyone
Yeah.
else's.
Getting to the box, getting the gun up, and getting that first shot off steady and not just slapping it seems like that might be this.
You can
whole
save
game.
a second on
Yeah,
each
yeah,
position,
and that's
and that's
what-
3 overall.
That's what I'll be working.
Yeah.
Like going forward, because getting a rifle where you want it to get across that plate rack, it seemed like, man, that's the whole stage.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not,
right?
Obviously, but
Well,
but-
rifle is
Lan-
this whole stage.
Lance Dingler was standing right there with that microphone right there saying,
He who wins the rifle shall
Yeah.
win the match.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I'm
love
so
shotgun
glad you're
'cause
here. I forgot what he said.
Yeah.
I love shooting a shotgun because I don't have to do a lot. I just kind of
My
just
favorite.
get it there,
Just
pull the
point.
trigger.
Yeah, like, just this general vicinity.
And the pistol, I swear, half of them I wasn't even looking at my own target.
Just staring at Hunter.
How close is
How's he doing?
He's so handsome.
But right. Oh man, look at him go. Wait, what? Are we live?
Jawline.
He's really fast.
But yeah, that plate rack with the rifle is the time when I felt like that was it. It was that one target
Yeah.
in front of the reticle that that was going to make it or break it. All 6 of those shots.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what are you seeing out there? Like, it's when you're picking up that rifle, like what's going through your head as you're mounting the gun?
Okay, on the good ones, I'm trying to get my focus out. I want to see the target and then I want to bring my focus back to where it needs to be sight-wise. So pistol on those is going to be kind of a 1/3 soft focus.
A little of both.
Yeah. You got to see that sight, I think, on the presentation, and so if I can get my focus where I need it, see the targets and present the gun to it right away. On the bad ones where I just come in like somebody kicked over a bag of body parts, then it's like, all right, where do my feet need to go? And oh my God, how far behind am I? And then, but once they get shoulder or once you get the pistol up, just kind of planting that back foot and then fixing your the whole time though is trying to transition visual focus to where it needs to be and hope the rest follows.
Well, and a lot of people, sorry to interrupt, Dave,
No worries.
but
No,
a
go
lot
ahead,
of
bud.
people say that you can't worry about the guy next to you. You can't worry
Yeah.
about the guy next to you. But how impossible is that?
Yeah,
truly?
I
mean, there's no
maybe-
way not to understand what's going on around you.
I think the guys that win a lot more than I do are probably good at it. But I don't know.
But you're always aware.
But it's kind of exciting too.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the fun is like, oh, that dude's 2 plates away from me, and now he's 1 plate away.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Let's light my hair on fire and go to work here. But I think if you could do that, if you could put yourself in that robot
truly
mode
turn everything off
and just shoot your game. But I've also seen a lot of the best shooters pick up speed when they know they're close. So they're hearing
for sure.
footsteps, and they're reacting to it. I don't.
It's like any other athlete.
Absolutely.
Well,
yeah.
and it's dealing with that pressure too, and I've never been in the shoot off format, but I've watched a bunch of these and sat here on the mics and
Well, a lot of guys can't handle it. That's a big thing. A lot of guys just can't handle hearing those footsteps.
exactly it's those footsteps, it's hearing those plates falling, like like you were talking about, Eric, and it's concentrating on what you need to do.
Yeah.
So when you hear those plates falling, you see them out of your peripheral. It's
Yeah.
like still concentrating on that front sight and watching it go.
Yeah, it's coming back to that front sight,
Yeah.
using that to motivate you to do
Because
it better.
I'll be honest,
faster.
you lose it about halfway through the pistol, right?
Yeah.
And you got to find it again.
I sure do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like a number 4 plate rack.
Yeah.
Or a guy that number 4 plate. I've
Yeah,
probably
when you got
missed.
2 left.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you know how it goes. Like you nail the first one.
I'm
the
doing
second
so
one,
good, I don't have
and
to
by
aim.
The third one, you're like, everybody, look how cool I am, and then you start missing the fourth one.
Yeah.
Y'all seeing
And
this?
yeah.
Everyone come see how good I
You get
look.
lucky on one in the 5th, and the 6th one's like bullseye shot. Like I got
Yeah.
you back in the game. But yeah, it's once they start ringing those big plates, they're bait. They
Yeah,
wanna
for
take
sure.
your eye towards the plate, and I'm still working on that.
Well, Eric, we've had a couple guys in the last night and over the time that we've been doing this, commentating on the shoot off, complain about not being able to see that front fiber because all the light is
Yeah.
coming from behind you, so they can't see on the shotgun, they can't see on the pistol. Obviously your scope's a little bit different.
Yeah.
How did you notice that, and then how did you deal with it?
I shoot using the edges of my sight when I use it at all.
You're a point shooter.
But I
What
do
fiber
think,
optic?
I do think that the fiber optic allows you to pick up the sight faster, but there's a lot of contrast on that sight against those white targets, even though it is washing out a little bit. But it's kind of like we were talking about earlier. It pushes you into things you're uncomfortable in shooting, and
You
and this
focus
is
on
one of
different
them.
aspects of your front sight.
Yeah, how are you gonna
Yeah.
how are you gonna get the front sight? And
Right.
you have to solve that problem to be successful. It's not ideal, but it's very doable.
Yeah.
And I think it's just
Yeah.
a different look at the sight.
And one of the things I noticed with Nationals last year in the shoot-offs at the end is that a lot of times the sights get lit up differently. So you'll get heavy light on the right side of this post and no light on the left side.
Right.
That's when it starts messing with your head because now you're visually seeing something you've never seen before.
And you're trying to figure out like where's the equal height, equal light, but
Yeah.
now it's like a weird perspective.
and your mind starts playing tricks because you're going 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
If I were to build a gun for this, I'd probably take the fiber optic out and train with it that way.
Really?
I would
That
agree
way
with
it-
You
that.
know, a
Only
lot
looking at
of
solid front
production
sight.
shooters, a lot of USPSA guys don't
Yeah.
do any sort of fiber.
I don't. The only time I have fiber is for competition guns. I shoot a lot of guns without it, and maybe that helps a little bit. But knowing that it's a non-issue and that I'm not going to be able to see it, build a gun that doesn't have it, or just change the front
I
sight.
just run a pair of glasses with night vision and then with a laser and then just point shoot.
We need to team up, man. I'll
All
just
right,
sit back
let's
here
make
in
it
the
happen.
blackout and shoot targets for you. And we can
I'm down.
flip-flop, dude.
I'm down. Is that someone on the hill? Don't worry about it. It's not a grassy knoll.
How is he putting shots into the berm and the plate?
Mine
That
would have
good.
confetti coming out of it. Bang flag.
But it's fun though, isn't it?
It was a lot of fun, and it was I got real fortunate. I had a lot of fun guys to shoot with tonight.
Yeah, you had a good
Yeah.
squad.
Yeah, so
good group.
So you're moving along then. You're going to be heading to, I believe they're doing the shoot-off in Virginia?
Yeah, I think so, right?
The VIR?
Yeah,
I believe so.
VIR again.
Yeah. So
if we can
so we were just talking about like
bring scuba tanks and stuff this time. Recover people. I'm sorry.
I have not recovered from nationals.
These are the same shoes, and I'm still wet.
Yeah, I had to just throw out my shoes. But so, Eric, what are you going to be focused on for practice, and what's your practice regimen going to be looking like? You've got
Well, I need
what,
Well,
6
and
months?
here's what I'd like to ask on piggybacking on that, because
Sure.
you're a very intuitive shooter and you break things
Yeah.
down very, very far into very,
Yeah.
very small details.
Yeah,
Based on your current experience of the shoot-off,
yeah.
what are you going to focus on?
I am going to build a box, and I'm going to set up some video, some slow-mo video, and some timers on just those transitions. And I'm going to work for
one of
shots.
those MGM boxes over there?
Yeah.
Picking it up, putting it down.
And getting that first, and not just first shot,
First
but
round
first
hit.
accurate shot. So I'll probably shrink the targets down some, maybe push them back a little bit. And
Because you're a
just
guy
work
that breaks drills down to the minutia.
Yeah, you can't tell by watching me shoot, but
Well, that's the linebacker thing.
but
I was
no,
trying to tell him you're a Nebraska corn-fed boy. I mean, that's you.
yeah.
Yeah, I knew he
I-
was Nebraska, but
right.
Rick is claiming linebacker.
me.
Yeah.
I was a linebacker.
Is
Yeah,
that right?
See,
Yeah.
he's my boy. I know Mr. Eckhart here.
I mean,
all right?
Jeez.
Jeez.
Not an important one. So I joined the army.
I didn't say Nebraska you.
yeah, no. But
I was just looking at
yeah,
his size. I was thinking, I thought he'd be bigger.
I'm 220 pounds.
Yeah, what do you want from
That's
high
where
school?
I gotta be, man.
Okay,
Who
well,
did you go to high school with?
I apologize.
Jeez.
All right, I'm gonna go hit the gym.
Yeah. Screw all this dry fire. I'm going to hit the gym.
So let's mark this time. 1 hour 43 minutes, 39 seconds. I gave an eating disorder to Eric Eckhart.
I could use it.
Little body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been
Don't
working
get that
with-
wrong. He doesn't have any food in his house. I've been there.
Yeah, I got help with that now. So I'm actually eating pretty good.
Tito's and avocados.
What else do you need, man? Anyway, but I've been working with some guys we have our training staff at work. Been working a little bit on speed and agility, and now I have some feedback to give them. We'll be working that just as part of general conditioning, and adding some of these specific drills in. But definitely getting that box and getting behind the gun correctly, repeatably, without having to force it. It's going to be my focus. And then obviously speed. And there's a lot. I can pick up some speed in some place and being confident going target to target. So, but if I had to do one thing, it'd be that box.
Well, and the biggest thing for me is after I did my first shoot off was that now I'm familiar with it and I know what it feels like. So the mental game was so much easier.
Yeah.
Because you know what to expect.
Yeah.
You know you're gonna be a little nervous.
Yeah, you made some pretty huge strides too, man. So
Well, thank you.
yeah,
Appreciate that.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
You just won one, so
No one was
you're 1 for
expecting
1.
it, but
Yeah, I lost a lot of money on you, dude. Thanks for that.
I bet against you tonight, so I guess we're even.
yeah, shit, Eric, if you quit now, man, you're like that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're 1 for 1.
Never-
You're better odds than Dan. So
Yeah,
just leave.
I'm a winner. Just ask me, right? never hear me again, right? Telling some dudes in a bar in Wyoming 30 years how badass I was.
You ever heard of Hunter's Sights?
Yeah. Of course you haven't.
Because I beat his ass.
It's like, yeah, he's like a 3-time national champion now. Where'd you go, Eric?
Oh shit!
Damn.
I beat him once.
Moved to a smaller town.
My pond got a lot smaller. Oh man!
Holy crap. God damn it,
See,
you
this
guys
is
are
what it used to be
killing
like
me.
on the Adams team. It was
Yeah,
rowdy,
yeah.
man. Especially when you introduced a fellow named Clay Martin.
Oh, yeah. My
Dude, I've
brother
heard so
Clay.
many-
Oh, my God. We used to have to
We
follow
got
him
him.
around to know
Yeah.
where he was.
Yeah, he's a riot. He's doing good now. actually.
Yeah, I heard great things.
You
Didn't
read
he just
any of
have
his
a kid?
articles? Yeah, he's got a
Yeah,
son.
that's
little,
awesome.
Little Clay, and he's writing articles for Guns America and doing
Yeah.
videos.
He's
doing
written,
videos and stuff.
If you-
I
He's
Yeah.
written some hilarious
If you haven't
articles.
read or watched his stuff, anybody
What
listening,
was the
I
one
strongly
on
recommend it.
on like the belt? That one was great. He was
you
talking
know-
about operators and
Yeah.
shit. Like,
oh yeah, the
like
tactical pants, the look, some of his reviews.
oh my
yeah.
God, it was so good.
They're worth your time. But he's doing good, man. He's finding his footing, and
That's
I'm
excellent.
real proud of him.
So the first time
for
I
what
heard
that's
of
worth.
Clay Martin was on the podcast, people were like, mentioned him in the context
Yeah.
of stories like Eric Eckhart, Clay Martin, these guys, blah, blah, blah.
They were travel buddies.
Don't repeat any of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't repeat it, but I'll allow it to be repeated. But anyhow, so
Rick.
I didn't. Hey, I know better. I know what you can do with bodies.
I was thinking like, oh man, these guys look freaking awesome, and I was like, I gotta hear this. And so I look up Clay Martin, and I see like all these videos he's
Yeah.
doing. He's like actually doing like some really good, really super informative, and very witty
Yeah.
witty
Yeah.
content
very
out
witty,
there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it comes out of his writing too. It's great.
Yeah, for
He has
sure.
great writing.
He's doing great. I miss shooting with him. I really do. I hope he gets back. I hope he hears this and gets back into it.
yeah, buddy.
We
But,
can send it to him.
Yeah. But,
Just let's guilt him in right now.
but
Just the next.
he's doing huge things, and he's got the family out there in Idaho now. I'm really envious of his living conditions out there.
Yeah, good for
Probably
him.
made a little
Idaho's
range and
great.
everything.
Yeah. If
I would
not, he's
imagine.
definitely got access to
Yeah.
several. So
There's a lot of national forest out there too, so you
yeah,
can just
it's just
walk
beautiful
out.
out there.
Oh, really?
Oh, totally.
Oh,
Good
okay.
gun laws.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So good for him.
Freedom-loving people.
Well,
Well,
I
guys,
appreciate-
I think we did we just kind of die here for a minute?
We may have.
We should bring this back. So,
all right.
shooting stuff.
Yeah.
Eric, you're also shooting this match, Three Gun Nation Southwestern Regional.
Yeah,
Are you shooting practical?
I am.
Do you always shoot practical?
I want to get into heavy. We're just figuring out some. I shot heavy for a while. I love it. I think running pump guns and big rifle, 45, all that. I think it makes this sport even that much more fun.
Yeah.
And there's some really really fun guys shooting it at this match, but we just got to get the kit right. But yeah, in order to gauge where you're at globally, you got to shoot practical, I think.
Yeah.
But once I get that set up, I'll probably shoot some more heavy. But this
So how's this match going for you?
man, it's been
Did
up
you
and
shoot this
down.
morning? You shot this
I shot
morning.
this morning, yeah.
So you shot in a little bit of rain, like we
Yeah.
did.
Were you on the back half or the front half? Long range? or
shooting
the-
long range.
Okay.
Middle of the road, head above water. I'll be honest with you, I've been looking at this all
not
day,
that.
which
yeah.
is not, it's a bad thing to admit professionally, but it has kind of.
Well, I mean,
I've been looking
you don't
towards
ask professional baseball players to go out and do 2 games.
Yeah,
like-
they're
like-
called double headers, right?
Well, but prepare for one, not the other.
yeah, that's true.
You know,
That's
against
true.
2 different people, and
We need you to do the what the home run derby and
yeah, right,
and
exactly.
World
That's what I
Series.
mean. Like 2
exactly.
different games with 2
Yeah.
different rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's it's all stuff that's well within my ability to do. I haven't been accomplished. I put a mag of 55 grain in to shoot long range and wondered why.
At least it'll be flat.
I had a beaten zone of about 10 feet downrange around the targets. Couldn't figure it out. Shot that mag dry on 7 targets. Reloaded, hit. And,
Huh.
We've all been there.
Yeah, so that's some pro level stuff right there.
Man,
And,
I wish I was shooting practical.
Secret sauce.
But yeah, tomorrow I need to get back in the game. No excuses, and I think it'll be good. It's 4 base stages. 4
Well, you've got
tomorrow.
this over with now, and you've got that like little boost of
Yeah,
confidence. You're
yeah,
going to the base stages,
yeah.
which are faster.
I'm the man. Just ask me, man. No, I'm really. They look like fun stages, and
That's what
yeah,
we shot
so-
today. They're fun.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
So-
great stages.
Yeah.
They're very well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They remind
Yeah.
me of the old pro stuff.
Yeah.
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 Well, and they were
So-
put on by or they were designed by an open shooter and a guy that hangs out with
You
an
can
open
tell by the
shooter.
round count.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, the round count and like where the reloads are.
Yeah,
and stuff
there
like
aren't
that.
any.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so
Why
much
are there always 29 pistol targets?
so much fun. Absolutely. So,
Oh, here we go.
You guys-
Celebrity.
The man.
Celebrity in the
do you guys
house.
want to bring in
Legend.
a new guest, Mr. Kalani Laker?
The Hawaiian Jedi.
Here we go. Hey, Kalani.
Good to see you, man.
Keep going. Testes. Thank you.
1, 2,
Awesome.
You can tell he's done this before.
What do I do with my hands? I'm just trying to figure this
Dude,
out.
camera's off. Do whatever you want with your hands.
Yeah, Roger
Bring him
that.
here.
Next to Rick Birdsall, buddy.
Oh, he's
So
not even
crazy
used the
night, huh?
chair.
Crazy night.
Crazy night, yeah. And Eric ended up on top, man.
Somehow.
Yeah, I've seen him there before. It's good. It's I thought we deleted that video. Is this live? Are we live? So I have a couple man crushes in this game. So my man crush. No, keep going. Hello.
Sorry,
That's
man.
good right about there,
We're
bro.
gonna edit him out.
Peeking
Yeah.
like an MF.
I know we're good, man. So I got some man crush Mondays in this whole game, and I'm pretty solid in who I am, whatnot. Eric's one of them. He's been my hero for a long time, dude.
Solid. Yeah.
He knows who he is.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I wish I had drank earlier because I so badly want to write Eric across my chest and yell for him the whole time.
I'd have been so
But I
distracted.
couldn't. I know, and that's why I didn't do it,
looking
dude.
at you the whole
I
time.
know the whole time. It's
Hard to run with an erection.
Oh my God. I hope most of the people have tuned out.
Turned off by now.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh my God, you guys kill me. Pete, what's up, man? We're
I'm
talking
about
about
to go out and
shooting.
practice in a minute.
talking
My
about
match is in a
life.
month.
We're talking about shooting.
Are you shooting up in Minnesota, Rick?
Yeah.
Nice. Good luck, bro.
Thanks, man. Anything
Oh
can
my God.
happen.
I think you'll do
Can't
all right.
stress
Who
about
are you
it.
shooting against?
We got a pretty stacked field.
Yak
just like
Attack,
yours. Yackley,
Nice.
Tate.
Yeah.
No, Coop's not in mine.
Coop's not it?
He's with Molina in Alabama.
Oh, screw them.
Carrillo, Adam Maxwell.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, no, we got.
Yeah.
We got
That's
anybody.
going to be fun to watch.
Oh
man.
yeah, it'll be good.
Don't shoot in the rain. I want to be able to watch it.
Well, you can bring a tent. And you can just do the commentary.
Yeah, I really don't think that it was the rain that caused the live stream to. And I think I have a face for radio kind of thing, you know.
Oh yeah. That's why I killed the camera before we invited you on the
You were going to do it or I was.
I was gonna have you put the hood up too.
the hood.
Yeah. How about Yackley out there in Vegas?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it was cool.
That's
Took-
awesome.
took down
Very
Jerry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Took down a lot of good
That's
people.
Cool. Kind of wanted both of them to win, but
Yeah,
That was
I
pretty
can't root.
impressive.
You can't root against Jerry. He's just
No.
too OG,
he
Yeah.
is.
and he's such a nice guy.
He's the sport, basically, you know.
Yeah, he is legit
Yeah.
everything you would want from
A champion.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
He really is. I mean, there's-
absolutely it.
He's a genuinely great individual.
And we'll be seeing Tim's name on the top of the list for
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
to come.
I look at him the same way I look at Staskowitz.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
Yeah.
18 years old and they're phenoms already.
We need to.
Imagine.
We need
I'm
a.
a Tanya Harding, one of them.
We need a that much younger than us division. You know what I mean? Like, if you-
We could turn it into like USPSA. You have age divisions and everything too.
Oh, super senior.
You can have like middle-aged man. And
You don't even qualify for that yet.
I know. I'm in a gray area.
Yeah.
it's more of a
You're like 30?
more
Yeah.
of a physical
incredible.
thing than an age thing. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm gonna go celebrate.
Cause some trouble.
Yeah.
I know what that means.
Yeah.
Eric,
I've been a part of some of
It
those
means get
celebrations.
to sleep early.
Oh.
And,
Oh,
you know,
right.
yeah.
and
Yeah. If I know anything about Eric Eckhart, it doesn't mean go to
review
sleep early.
stages.
It
you
does
know?
not mean go to bed early.
Clean my equipment. Yeah.
Yeah. Define equipment.
oh my goodness. Eric, man, pleasure to have you on, dude.
Hey,
Congratulations
anytime.
on
Thank
the
you
win.
for having me on.
Love
Appreciate
to have you on again sometime
Yeah.
one-on-one with these yahoos aren't here distracting y'all.
Yeah,
That's not
he's-
me. That's
you
not me.
need-
That's-
You need to get an episode with Eric by himself
so
because he's got a ton of knowledge, not only with 3-gun, but
but the whole
with-
thing will be beeped out.
Yeah. It's on what hour you get me in the night.
so Rick, I'll give you a little behind the scenes. So Eric and I were talking yesterday, or was it yesterday, or was it earlier today? It was yesterday.
One of the two.
And I was telling him, I've always wanted to have you on, but I wanted to respect the job that you're doing.
Yeah.
And your anonymity.
OPSEC.
So exactly.
Sanitation.
So now
Yeah, you
he's
gotta-
he's
Yeah,
changing.
well, I don't want people to know that you actually handle their trash.
Did you-
Sanitation
yeah, I was
technicians
gonna
gotta
say,
keep
did you
it
tell
below
him
board.
that?
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Exactly.
Eric's job is that he's one of Santa's helpers.
Exactly.
That's his job.
So when you look in your stocking and you've got that dolly or that football, Eric put that there.
Rides a lot of
So-
reindeer.
You better write a letter to
So-
Eric. Say thank you. Thank
Dear
you.
Eric,
Thank you for this year's Christmas. We
I write
appreciate
2
it.
letters every year to Eric and Matt Martinez.
we won't discuss what's in the letter to Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of dick pics.
It's mostly drawings.
They pop up when you open the book.
Thanks for being so handsome.
I love your hair.
No, dude, he cut his hair, dude.
I know. I can't deal with it.
Matt cut his hair, man.
I can't deal
like
with it.
Metallica,
I
man.
did not like. I was so.
I didn't
upset.
either. I was pissed
so
at him. I
upset,
didn't
man.
talk to him for a whole
It's
match.
getting weird.
Is this your cue?
It is
Yeah.
my cue. I got
All
it.
right,
Hey, you're the
brother.
military. There ain't
Thank
nothing
you,
weird
Eric.
for you.
Yeah, man.
Always a
Thank you
pleasure,
for having
man.
me on. Let's do
Appreciate
it again, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's absolutely do
Great
it.
job tonight, buddy.
Always a riot,
Yeah,
brother.
man. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
All right, thanks, guys. Take it easy.
All right, good times.
Oh,
Well,
man.
Rick, we're wrapping it up. We
Yeah,
got
I
Mr.
think now's
Laker
about the
here
time.
with
It's
us.
getting dark.
It is getting
Real
dark.
dark.
We have one light left, and looks like they're going to let me clean up.
Pete's
Three
not
Nation-
having it. He wants out.
Three Gun Nation's being cool enough to put this one light or keep this one light on for us to clean up here. So
Well, thankfully, Keith has had the light on many times on my car to help light us out throughout the day.
I hope you guys have some battery to work with when you get back.
I
on
hope
there,
he at least turned it on once.
Gentlemen, good luck in the rest of the match tomorrow. Let's all get out there and let's shoot. I'm hoping for at least 17 to 18 malfunctions, which
Hey.
would be about a quarter of what I had today.
But you know what? At the end of the day, you're going to be top 2 PCC.
Dude, top 2
How
baby
big?
PCC.
I want people to
Unlimited.
understand how big of a deal that is.
Yeah,
This is a national level match, and Dave Hartman is going to be top 2 PCC.
Top 2.
Dang,
right.
dude, boss.
I know.
Boss status.
I
That's
gotta find that
unbelievable.
other guy and see if he's having the troubles that I have.
do you want me to take care of him?
Remember what I said about Tanya Harding?
We'll talk off
I
air.
can have Eric help.
from a distance. We'll talk off air.
Got it.
Well, guys,
Roger.
thank you. Once again for being on the Three Gun Show. Rick, you've been here the whole time.
Well, once you said you were going to do it, and I knew I was going to be here, what else would I mean, I'd rather be here hanging out with you than in the car with Keith.
That seems to be the sentiment.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate this. We're gonna have you back on again for a good long time. We're gonna talk about some gear and training and stuff like that, like
Yeah,
we
for
always
sure.
do. We're gonna learn the secret sauce that
Drop
is Rick
some knowledge.
Birdsall. Drop some knowledge.
There's not very
man.
much secret sauce.
On
I
the
just do what
community.
Kalani tells me.
We've talked about it many times
Yeah,
on this
yeah,
show.
yeah. We've talked about that with Kalani. It's like, what do you tell Rick? Why do you tell Rick that?
Don't be dumb.
Tell me what the things you tell Rick. Yeah. Well, thank you guys. We're gonna be we're signing off here. Beverages provided by Grimm Brothers Brew House, shelter provided by Hayes Custom Guns, support provided by Armalite Rifles, and power supplied by Nick Miller.
The dude on the treadmill over here.
Nick Miller let me use the generator. So.
Oh, I figured he was on a bicycle or something. Just sit back there.
All
Hey,
right,
Dave,
this
I'm
Three
glad
Gun-
I'm glad you were out here this weekend.
Dude, thanks, man. I'm.
It adds such a
super
cool
pumped to be
element
out
to
here.
all this. It really does, because they do all the live stream, but without the commentary, it lacks a little bit. And I think having guys like you and then some of the other pros out here, I think it adds a lot of not only color but insight into what's actually going through people's minds while they're shooting.
Thanks, man. Absolutely, and I think it's a good compliment to the Three Gun Nation stream. You
Yeah.
can watch the stream and you can have us on your second screen, and it seems to work out pretty well. So hopefully we'll be able to do it again in the future.
Big
All right,
things.
brother.
Big things.
All right, thanks, fellas.
Take care, man.
Thanks, Dave.
All right.